in the ground. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, YouTubers. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, friends of Talking with Tonya. Good morning, good morning. If you are alive and God woke you up this morning, you are truly, truly blessed. And I know that I am because he woke me up. But I went to bed with a lot on my mind. We're going to get into that later. I went to bed with a lot on my mind because I'm really concerned about our community. But it is a wonderful Saturday morning. So if you are logging on, which I guess I need to do what you're doing, Mickey, I need y'all click, like, share, and subscribe. Click, like, share, and please subscribe. And if y'all notice, we on time today. So I am here with Mickey. Mickey, we on time today. Listen. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Now, look, I ain't gonna say that because Sonya Massey said that, and they killed her. So my heart goes out to Sonya Massey's family because she stayed in her kitchen when they told her put down a pot of water. She said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and they killed her. Reminds me of Sandra Bland, and for all the people who lost their lives due to terrible police. Not all police aren't bad, but racist police. My prayers to their family and to them. But did you see that? And we're going to kind of skip around. We got a lot to unpack, y'all. I wasn't here last week because I did not want to take away from what was all happening last week.
Jedediah was in town.
Beverly. Well, we're going to talk about that escort today, that police escort, when people jumping out their cars on folks. They're getting the police escort. So I didn't do it last week, and I needed a break. Look, your girl tired. I'd be tired, and so I didn't want to take her. There were so many good things happening that Saturday morning, and I'm like, Mickey, I'm not doing it today because I want people to focus on what the community wants at this time. And I'm like, we can unpack next week. So, Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey, how you doing?
I can't complain.
That's not what you was doing before the camera came off.
I can't complain. I can't complain.
I need to share this. So click in wherever you are at, and I'm going to have Mickey go back down. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. We have a lot. So click, like, share, and subscribe because we got some stuff we going to unpack today. We are not going to be in here 4 or 5 hours. We're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. So I need to share to my own personal page too, because I always forget halfway through the show. So if we are not moving and transitioning as smooth as y'all want to, or you think we should, don't blame it on Mickey. That is all me. That is all me, because there are a lot of things that how I do it, and I got to get me a new iPad. Something is going on.
I'm tagging the mayor in this right now. He said he like 18.
My bestie.
Yeah, I got tagged him in this thing right here. You like it? I mean,
okay, Mickey.
I don't do. It's cheap people.
So, okay, I have shared, and why my internet is so janky in here.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Okay. I hate to use the word janky, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Y'all, what she say? Y'all water janky, your food, your taxes janky, your schools is janky.
I see Nancy Adams in the building.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you scroll back down because I want to give some shouts out to y'all for thanking y'all for waiting on me, and those who supported 810 last week, and to the 6th Ward residents who give me love, and for those who are not 6th Ward residents, look, I'm thankful I have not been recalled because, man, when residents don't like you, last week with Jedediah, that was real. When you give the residents the hate you give, they give back to you. Look, I'm going to give y'all love. I'm going to give you love. So let's go back up. I'm sorry, Mickey, and I'm going to read them really quick because I want to mention the names. We got good vibes up in here today. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Trev. Good morning, Miss J. Richburg. Good morning. I ain't going. Okay, I like that. Good morning, Avis Hopkins. Good morning, Jolena, with that pretty grandbaby. Good morning, Tia. I did not call you back. I apologize, but I'm going to call you this evening. Good morning, Eddie Gray. Good morning, T from the D. Good morning, Latoya Jones. Good morning, Miss Cat. I saw Miss Kathleen King. She came and gave me some love one day up there on Clio Road. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Michael. Look, good morning, Taylor. Good morning, Andre Holly. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, KZ114. Good morning, Lasagna Larry. Good morning, Vicky Bailey. Good morning, Linda Flowers. Good morning, Angie Matt. Good morning, Cheryl Hart. Good morning, Trev B. Good morning, No Name Bay. Listen, good morning, Perry Walls. Good morning, Auntie M. Good morning, 70 South Charlotte Bound News and Sports. Good morning, Marcus Felder. Listen, I put up a thing yesterday, and good morning, Sofa King. Don't park on your grass. It is an ordinance. Listen, people were mad about that, Mickey. Good morning, Michael Smith. Good morning, Chris Caleb. So, look, in the city of Flint, I put up the ordinance.
Michelle, that's Ann.
Where?
Well, you just said Michael, that's Ann.
Where at?
Right there. And good morning, Michelle.
Michelle, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good morning. Good morning, Michelle. Is it Michelle?
Yeah, Michelle.
Michelle. Good morning. I'm sorry. One of my best friends, y'all see here, Michelle Young. We've been friends since pre-K. And she be trying to come up to city council. So I got some assignments for y'all. You take them assignments back to GM. That's what you running. You running GM. You ain't running. I don't want no more assignments. None. I got an assignment for y'all. I said, if you don't stop coming up here giving these assignments, we go way back when you were younger. I got a whooping, she got a whooping, and all my cousins got whoopings.
Yeah.
Old days. And we turned out all right.
Some did. Not all.
Majority. We did. We did.
I seen some faulty ones in y'all crew.
Michelle was the only child. And she had the only child.
Oh yeah, she good people though. Michelle
she is. She has a good heart.
Yeah, she does.
She does. Good morning, Patrick. Patrick Jean sent me country song. He has got one country song that I really like that he sent me. And Patrick put it in the name in there. I love this song. It's about she's like an unconventional woman. Good morning, Lewis Smith. Good morning, 2 P's in the podcast. Good morning, Trev B. Now, okay, I got my names caught up. Okay, so if you live in the city of Flint, you can't park on your grass. That's why you have a driveway. I mean, your driveway is meant for parking in, okay? And if your driveway is full, you can park on the street if there are no parking signs or parking times. Luca, Beautiful Crazy. That's it. If y'all have not, Beautiful Crazy by Luke Combs. I love that song. It's in my playlist now. And so it is a country song. Country reminds me the same as like blues. And so if you cannot, look, there go Michelle. Wait a minute, we talked her up. She wasn't even on there. Michelle, I did talk about you a little bit, but I love you, girl. But listen, we cannot park on the grass. Don't park underneath y'all picture window. You don't get to pull up to the picture window. I don't know when this became a thing. When I was little, you didn't dare step on people's grass. Them old folks would cuss you out. And now they're parking on the grass. You can't do it. It's against the law. You can't do it. You know, you will get told. But let me tell you about this week. I had 2 campers. One camper, he parked across 2 people's lawns with this camper and was selling alcohol illegally. You can't do that either. That goes to deal with the alcohol, tobacco, and firearm. The state of Michigan wants their money. You cannot park on the grass. And so he was serving drinks. You can get a Budweiser. She was like, he just served a Budweiser. Look, the women in the neighborhood wasn't playing with him. He parked across two lawns. You cannot run a park on your grass and run an electrical cord from across the street. I had that done with another one. You can't do it. You can't do it. Well, it's my private property. Well, there's an ordinance. You can't do this because people want to live in a community where the lawns are, they're manicured or taken care of. We also have your grass can't grow over 8 inches. And so I put the ordinance number up there. So yes, Patrick Jean, he was a bootlegger and a camper. That's crazy. And he was selling alcohol, making a profit. And they set some little tables out in the front yard. You can't make this up. You can't. So I want people to know, and there was a lot of comments on you can't park on the grass. How do you feel about parking on the grass? Because you can't in the suburbs. You got to follow them HOAs, and it's the same. HOA is the same as our city ordinances too.
No,
basically, they're laws.
No, I agree with you because they do mess up the grass.
They do.
The tires. I can understand that. I'm not against that.
Yeah, and then they pull up. I'm like, now come on. And I've had my neighbors, both of them. I'm like, how you gonna park on the next to the council person on your grass too? I'm like, now come on now.
I can see that. I'm gonna tell you what's something I might let it slide on. Just say it was like an open house. If they did an open house or something, they had to like just for that. I'll let that slide, but not every day. I'm just saying if you just had say you threw a party once a year or something like that, and if you park your car on the grass, I ain't gonna holler, but it would be ordinance where I want that yard to look right. I'm just being honest.
But you can't balance that, and that's and I lived where we had an HOA, and I'm gonna tell you, they didn't play. I live in what I call now the college house, the house I bought for my daughter that I'm in, with the little bitty kitchen and the closets that's this big that you can hang 4 pair of pants in, maybe 4 skirts and 2 pair of shoes.
Right.
I don't know who they made the closets for, but it wasn't for your girl at all. So when we talk about the grass, and it's basically it's maintaining your home.
Right.
And who want to live next door to the people fixing a car and you got a dirt road in front of the house because the grass is gone. Right. It affects your property value.
It do.
It affects your don't park on the grass. I don't care. I don't care if it is your own property. If you want to park on the grass, move to Montrose or move to Mount Moore. You can park on the grass in the country. Not in the subdivision, because subdivisions don't play. Because I remember the guy across the street from me, he had a shed, and I kid you not, the roof line was not according to what the specs were. He had spent some really good money for this shed. He had it landscaped and everything. They made him tear it down completely because he altered the roof line on the shed. And so if you want to park on the line, don't do it in the city of Flint. Please don't do it in my ward, because when residents ask me something, I have a responsibility to enforce it. And to the guy in the camper, and then another one who was running a whole cord of power across the street. I'm like, yeah, y'all can't do it. You can't. Don't park on the grass. There is an ordinance. Respect your neighbor. Now, I get people don't want to park on the street. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and why some do, but it's just the law, because people, drive crazy in Flint. They will getting your car hit is a possibility. But if you want more change, you don't like what's going on, then you need to come and tell your council people, come to city council. We complain about these things, but we don't do anything to affect change. You need to talk to Chief Green, send them emails. Send your council person an email and send Chief Green an email. I need you to enforce speeding in my neighborhood. I want stop signs to stop being optional. So these are things that we need to, you need to talk about. But you can't park on the grass. And for campers, it's the new thing. You can't put your campers on the front lawn and then sell liquor out of it. And he was selling Budweiser. Now, if he was selling Stella Artois beer, I might have went over there. No, just joking, y'all. Now, I might have said, look, give me a Stella Artois, but you got to put this up. You can't put the camper here. But anyways, so we are going to get into a lot of different things. So Mickey's quiet over there today. So, well, we had in the last week, we had last Saturday, 810 was covering the I guess the recall with Miss Bear. And that was one of the things. Then you had Sheriff Swanson out there who thinks he's the cha-cha king now. he out there cha-cha. You know, they had the Regencies with the week before which is now Midtown, and then they had oh God, what's the other one that's out there for Carpenter Road?
I grew up knowing as the Project.
Yeah, people did call them the Project,
but I don't know.
And they were out there and they had resources. So there was a lot that was going on last week. And I want to say this too. My heart goes out to the little girl, 12-year-old Trinity, and her family, who was shot and killed in her bed while she was sleeping. She was sleeping.
Flint Harmony Fest. That's what it was.
Flint Harmony Fest. And so also there's the and I had a whole attitude. Today is the Jazz Festival.
Where is that at?
It ain't in Flint. It's the Flint Jazz Festival. It is not in Flint. So your girl had all kind of attitudes. And I was really upset with one of the people who was telling me. And he was on. I said, well, it's supposed to be in Flint. Well, it can't have it in Flint because they working on the riverfront. Why did I ride down by the riverfront? I'm like, ain't nobody down there by the end. People can walk. Ain't nobody. There's no construction right there. And why would you take it to Clio? Have it at Atwood.
It's in Clio?
Clio. Look, they don't want y'all there. They have it in Clio. Today it's the Clio. The Flint Jazz Festival is at the Clio Amphitheater. I'm not in agreement with that. They could have had it at Atwood Stadium. In Clio. They could have had it open up Northwestern's track and field. Put it up there. They got stadium seats. I mean, they could have had other alternatives instead of Clio. I'm like, Clio? The amphitheater there is nice, but Clio? I don't know who's making some of these decisions. I'm not for it. Hey, Trevor, who lives in Florida. Taylor says, I was so confused too, Tonya. It's one of my favorite events. It's one of mine too, but it's in Clio this year. So don't y'all think about acting no fool, which they never do down there. And it is a nice event. And it could have, Angie Mack said, that's Clio Jazz. It really is. Yeah. It really is. You know, now they are doing work down by the river. There is a lot of work, but that's like on the other side. But that seating where you got to bring some cushions and the little stage thing, there was nothing right there. And so, Chief from this is Grand Blanc have a venue. I mean, Flint has Flint Meat Freak. Hey, Meat Freaks. Pawtucket, Florida is the house. What's good? Family. Hey, Miss. Hey, Meat Freaks. I just don't believe in sending, you know, because you have that festival, and it's for Flint residents. Y'all can find a place in Flint. It could have been on the lawn at the library in the Flint Institute of Arts. I mean, come on. There's so many other alternatives. Well, one thing, look, we got parks. Yeah. Have it at one of the parks. We got parks. Look, they love a park. They could have had it at Ballinger Park. They could have had it at Mott Park, which is now part of a state park. They could have had it at a park. I mean, we have parks in every single neighborhood. Have it at one of the parks. Those some porta potties out there. So anyway, so we're going to move on. So one of the big things was I don't remember what I was doing, but I was doing something when I got a call. I'm like, you know that I'm busy. And they were like, you need to know. No, it was like, you know, Joe Biden dropped out the race. I was like, I'm still busy. And so I'm trying to finish what I was doing. I think was I on the Zoom? Or was I in the meeting? It wasn't a council meeting. But anyways, Joe Biden dropped out. They dropped out. He dropped out. And so people were really concerned about his health and how slow Joe was moving and his numbers. And so Curtis Field says Forest Park.
Should have been
Forest Park is actually like when you, and I'm ADD today. Forest Park is really nice inside. Yeah. It's really a serene park inside. But back in the day, boy, you'd ride through, have your outfit on. There's a lot of parks we could have had it at. Taylor said we got parks galore. So let me get back to Joe Biden, because this has been the thing, which there's a lot of people don't want to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris and her record on on Black men and incarceration, and how in 2019 they felt that it come out that she wasn't doing. They felt she wasn't representing people correctly, and Black men were getting a raw deal from her. And another big thing, she's married to a white man. Okay, who cares? I keep telling, stay out of people's bedrooms because I know some people claim that they don't like, they will tell you Muslim, not speaking of, and I looked at their rap sheet and they was picking up white prostitutes. So I'm just saying, you got to be careful who you listening to, because some of these people, and this person was coming at me hard a couple of years ago, and I had to disclose to pastor that I did. I cussed this person out. I did, and I called him a fake Muslim laid up. You claim you didn't like eat your pork chop eating and having 5 pounds of bacon in the refrigerator. It was bad. I had a bad day that day.
You had a bad day that day.
I did. I was on the far out the car. Like I had a heated conversation with someone, and it was like, "Well, don't you get out here and act crazy." I was like, "I'm not talking to you." I was like, yeah, I see him." And it was just on. But y'all have to be careful. I think that alternative and people were like, the conversations have been very, well, I'm not supporting her because of her record. I'm not supporting her because she's married to a white man. Well, Black women have had to deal with Black men being married to white women for a long time, especially with elevating their status when they have made it, such as star status, such as our sports, when they reach a certain level. And so Black women have had to deal with that. And we've seen a surge in Black women now dating more for white men. I've never dated a white man. Never. I just have not. Um, but it's not for me to say what somebody else should do. And I think people don't get enough of staying in people's bedrooms and who they with.
I mean, but you know what it is? It's politics, so they got to do the propaganda. This was like the only thing. This one, the first time it been brought up. So you know what I'm saying. I think she can handle it. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying. I'm not looking at. My thing is when she get in, like what you gonna do. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm not tripping on like who she with. It ain't like she just married this man yesterday. They knew this when she wanted to run 4 years ago. So you know what I'm saying. It's just, but because America has that racial element to it, so it's easier to throw that up. Let's put this out here because it's gonna make her look bad. Let's say, oh, you know what I'm saying, she locked up a lot of brothers, which I get it. You know what I'm saying. That's probably for another time and another subject, but I get it. But what I'm gonna keep holding that against her.
Right. And so when we start doing our research, is it really factual? How many people and I'm all for I was at court yesterday. Literally a 15-year-old with a friend. And this 15-year-old who has 9 charges, 9 felonies, and they're charging him as an adult. And they're treating him as an adult and did not even let the mother know that he had been arraigned the day prior. So I'm sitting in the room, which is very little bitty room, little claustrophobic room, and I'm listening to these charges with this kid, and I'm like, because he's a kid, and so I knew, part of his life when, he had a very traumatic experience. His dad was killed. He saw and was the first one to see his dad. His dad was killed in a car. Sitting in the car at Eagles Ridge. I believe it's Eagles Ridge. And he had been shot in the head and shot in the stomach. So the son's watching the bullet in the head and in the stomach where he was shot, where his guts, his intestines and everything was hanging out. And he's bleeding profusely. And so this is a 12-year-old child who's seen this and didn't get any help. And he was close with his father. The father was in his life. So But there was issues, but so anyways, getting on to so this child now, he's a runaway, he was having problems. And the other thing with these kids have problems with lead. And we're gonna get into that later. They have problems with lead. And this kid was just because I keep calling him a kid, but they have charged him as an adult.
I'm looking at Jason comment on it. So that 12-year-old who suffocated her 8-year-old cousin was charged as an adult.
I hadn't heard of that one, Jason.
Mm.
I just don't. It just I get his charges. His charges are serious, but I also look at the fact that what played into his charges. And 9-year-old, he's 15 years old with 9 charges, all felonies, and I think each one was carrying like a 20-year. So that's like what, 180 years? And some of the stuff is suspect, him and another child. Um, they're saying that this young man stole a car, and that's the other parent saying that's not true, that this woman gave it to him. Then they saying he took the car, rammed 2 police officers, not 1 but 2, so that was attempted murder. I mean, he had a lot that was going on. So now he needs the community. We can't keep forgetting about these kids. One, this child had seen what happened to his father. He saw a bullet to his head and shot in his abdomen where his intestines were hanging out. And then this kid was, if he's 15 now, let's rewind 10 years ago. He was born into the lead crisis. Lead affects the brain. As his brain was maturing and developing, for 18 months, they allow our children to be poisoned and did nothing about it. So when we seeing all these hit lists and kids shooting kids, lead was a problem. And it's almost like I feel Flint was an experiment. Let's see the effects of lead on the brain and let's poison the city and then do nothing about it to help them. Why don't we have lead court? These kids should not be tried in a normal court. This child should not. This child was failed at every single level. He had problems in school. He had a father who was killed. Gun violence is a problem. This child is now in a single parent household. The mother's going through something. There's other children. This kid faces a multitude of problems and issues. And along the way, the services that he did need, he has not received. He is not. And then the friends that are around him, listen, a lot of them got the same issues. Then some of these parents, you got to think, they had parents who were on drugs. Crack was real in the 80s. The crack epidemic. Then it was a heroin epidemic before then. So drugs within the inner city is very real. We have a drug problem. We have a gun violence problem. But this 9-year-old is being charged in Genesee County. The 15-year-old as an adult. He has extenuating circumstances. And they're so quick to label our kids with lead. It's just, killers and all these other issues. So this family, if you believe in praying, I am praying for this child. And I ask that many of you do too, because literally as I'm consuming this information, it was a lot to unpack. It was a lot. So, okay, going back to we switched from Kamala. Let's go back to let's put the picture up of her because I'm with her. I am supporting Kamala Harris for President of the United States. And I'm supporting her because she is the best choice. She did not forget about Flint and kept her promise to Flint when it came to the water crisis, the the cancer cluster study, and we still got work to do, don't get me wrong. So and if y'all didn't go to the cancer cluster study events, they were awesome. They had, and I left that stuff in the car. They had so many resources. You could get some tests while you were there. And then they even had like vision tests. You can get vision tests. You get tested set up for breast cancer, get your breast a mammogram. You could get tested for multiple melanoma, cervical cancer, kidney cancer. I mean, they had resources there for everybody. And it was in one spot. One spot, it was there. And so I'm supporting her for that. I'm supporting her. We're going to get into it for many other issues. People are like, well, she's vice president. And what is she? Vice president is really the sidekick, in case y'all didn't know. What did Mike Pence do? Mike Pence was about to get hung out there on January 6th after they erected that stage. They erected that stage and put that noose up there, and that was for Mike Pence. Mike Pence was going to get hung that day. The insurrection was very real. So people say, well, they should choose somebody else. Okay, we in the, what is it? It's the 19th hour. Is that what they call it? No, we in the last hour. It is, we have to pick who is going to do the best for our country. I believe in, I haven't always agreed for who is the president. I believe in respecting the office, but I have not always agreed with who we have selected as president. But when Mike Pence was January 6th, as we were watching them break into the Capitol, tearing up the Capitol, defecating on the desk, breaking the windows, tearing the place up, it was a problem. It was a problem. So I am supporting Kamala Harris. And then Mickey, we're gonna go to the next one. Y'all, Mickey. I need the video, the TikTok.
I got you. I got
So,
you. I got you one second. Working me hard.
It's okay, I got you.
I got you.
I got you over here.
I got you.
So,
you gotta let me, I got you. Hold
so
on.
we're gonna talk about the people be saying she's not black. And
who ain't?
Kamala.
She not.
People, okay.
I'm messing with
yeah,
you. I just want to mess
people
with
say
you.
I'm Matthew said I wasn't black. He said I was orange. You know, he said I was not black. I'm not a black woman. Okay, Doug. We're not going to get into he's a weirdo and he needs to seek some psychological help. And his weird obsession with me is crazy. So he, you know, when white people tell you what your color is, yeah, I don't know what I have to do to be black besides be born and listen, it's on my birth certificate. It is on my birth certificate. So she had to explain, and she explained this, I think this was it 2019. She explained.
I got it whenever you're ready.
Yeah, she explained her blackness. We should not, as black women, have to explain why we are black. You know, and what constitute being a black woman. I remember when Tiger Woods won what was it? The Masters.
Yeah.
And they
talk about Fuzzy Zola.
Yeah, and he said we're not having fried chicken,
collard greens,
and collard greens.
Yeah, but you got to remember, the Masters, they didn't want blacks playing there at one time.
No, they did. They didn't.
So you got to really go study Tiger Woods when he was at Stanford. He ran into that then, but look at the Serena.
Absolutely, Serena and Venus, and that's a good Netflix movie. If you have not watched that one, watch Serena. I forget the name. It's on Netflix.
Richard.
Watch that one. You will see it was with Will Smith. And I ain't been no Will Smith fan for a while, but that was a really good movie. You saw, because everybody's talking about that daddy. That is a really good movie. Y'all need to watch that. That was a good movie. And it showed what they went through.
King Richard.
Thank you, Jon Snow Show.
My bad for saying Richard. I left the King.
Yeah, well, I mean, we make mistakes. I do. Listen, and Lord, don't misspeak or say something that they think is partially wrong because they'll catch you on it.
Yeah.
I swear it was the law or whatever, but I'm gonna get into that later. So watch that. So when people have to explain when you Black and you have to explain your Blackness, it's crazy. Times I had people say to me, well, you're not like other Black people. Mm-hmm. What's like other Black people? I mean, what's like other Black people? Because by the way, I do eat fried chicken and greens and I cook it too. Okay. And so my seasoning cabinet has seasonings in it too. Okay. A whole 3 shelves right there. So I don't know what being, Black, you're not like other Black people.
I hate that too.
What their stereotype. Yeah, don't put me in a place where you're comfortable for me to be, because I'm capable of being in more than one arena. I am. And first of all, you can't hide your Blackness. When I walk into a room, people before they know my name, they're going to know I'm a female Black woman. And so you got to own it from the beginning.
Yeah. I think what the problem when they be saying fires, like they forget their Blackness, and this it goes to this why they questioning Kamala Harris. Like you said with the NFL players, what they do when they get money. Who do they go marry?
Right. Well, right.
See, but that, and then
I mean, it's not all the time, but I think we got to talk and get into where they felt that it was a status, that white women were a status, which took us back to, I want to get what I can't have.
Yeah, but then we have to be honest too, why these brothers are marrying. You just got to be honest why they are marrying, you know what I'm saying, outside their race. What's the percentage of when they go into these colleges these brothers they're going to the Michigan, they're going to the Dukes, they're going to the North Carolinas, they're going to the Florida states, the Florida, Alabama. What's the
So you're saying because you're going to school with white people?
Who are you around?
That's what my daughter, in full disclosure, is married to a white man. I don't have no problem with it.
But who are you? It's gonna be who are you around? I'm pretty sure if you go look at the makeup of how many brothers that's going.
And she told me, she was like, "Mom, we lived in the suburbs. Who do you think we were around?" Her dad used to call Lily. He had me in court telling me, I had my kids living in the Lily White area. Yeah. And I said, no, I have my kids in the school district number 1 where the benchmarks are being passed. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I went at that time where my money could afford me, because I moved from Saginaw and I went to buy a lot in Flint, was building in University Park, and Flint couldn't get their stuff together so we bought a lot out in Flushing. We built the house.
But you got to look what.
But now listen, y'all, I'm not good at relationships. Your girl back in the college house.
I'm just saying, if you look at it, but that's what it really is. We got to look really at it. No different if you send your kid to Grand Blanc, Flushing, Davidson.
Absolutely.
What you think the female they're gonna probably be taking to the prom?
My son took 2 white girls to the prom. Not 1, but 2.
Now, if you went to Northern, the time I came up, most likely because it was a Black school, Northwestern, Central, you was gonna go with a Black person. It's just how it is.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Back in my day, what year you graduated in?
95.
Okay, 87. Them white girls was dating them Black guys.
But I ain't saying they wouldn't.
And the Hispanic women were, I'm telling, and you couldn't compete.
But I bet you it was more, you had more Black couples than you had interracial couples.
But see, I went to Pierce, then I went to
I went to
Central. I was on the,
But see,
so it was very liberal over there.
So it came blacker when I came. See,
but I lived on Moore Street. And look, they also had last week, was it the Dewey reunion?
Yeah.
Good event. Curtis Fields, thanks for reminding me. And Murdoch, I called and told you, Curtis reminded me this year, not you, Murdoch. So, but if we have, I'm gonna tell you, there's so many other things to worry about. It's like the LGBTQ community plus. And did I get all of? If I didn't, y'all, charge it to my mind, not my heart. It's LGBTQ plus. I think they dropped it was some stuff that was dropped. So I don't care who you love. I'm staying out of everybody's bedroom because I don't want you in mine. I don't. I want my private life to remain just that, private. Okay? Private. And so we spend too much time worrying about other things. I met Kamala's Harris husband. I met him. Matter of fact, before we put the video, can we put the picture up? Is the video? Let's play it. Let's go ahead and go into the video. Then we put the picture up.
I got you.
We're gonna play it. We're gonna play the video.
Her critics who have been questioning her Blackness due to the fact that her parents were immigrants born in India and Jamaica. She spent her high school years in Canada and because she's married to a white man. Here's what Kamala had to say.
They're trying to do what has been happening over the last 2 years, which is powerful voices trying to sow hate and division among us. And so we need to recognize when we're being played. But I'm Black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of being Black.
Absolutely.
And I was born Black. I will die Black. And I'm proud of being Black. And I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody.
So, lady, like Kamala, have you ever had to deal with someone trying to question the authenticity of your race?
Dang,
With all this melanin, no, it has never happened to me. Abundantly clear that I am a Black woman. And I think they only do that with Black people. Like this one thing, first of all, we're not cute enough, perfect enough, all of that. And then when we try to advance, we have to prove that we're Black, which are all the things that they say we shouldn't be.
Right.
So I'm just confused by it. I don't understand it. And may I say this about my soror, Kamala Harris? She went to Howard University and pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha. You don't get no blacker than that. She's Black. She's Black. She's Black.
Well, if you're talking about, there's a difference between Black people. Black people, because I looked up the term, is used socially for racial classification in certain countries. So she would be Black. If you has decided to hit up the Breakfast Club and really open up to Charlemagne and the crew, Kamala specifically addressed her critics who have been questioning her Blackness due to the fact that her parents were immigrants born in India and Jamaica. She spent her high school years in Canada and because she's married to a white man. Here's what Kamala had to say.
They're trying to do what has been happening over the last 2 years, which is powerful voices trying to sow hate and division among us. And so we need to recognize when we're being played. But I'm Black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of being Black.
Absolutely.
And I was born Black. I will die Black. And I'm proud of being Black. And I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody.
So, lady, like Kamala, have you ever had to deal with someone trying to question the authenticity of your race?
Dang,
With all this melanin, no, it has never happened to me. Abundantly clear that I am a Black woman. And I think they only do that with Black people. Like this one thing, first of all, we're not cute enough, perfect enough, all of that. And then when we try to advance, we have to prove that we're Black, which are all the things that they say we shouldn't be.
Right.
So I'm just confused by it. I don't understand it. And may I say this about my soror, Kamala Harris? She went to Howard University and pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha. You don't get no blacker than that. She's Black. She's Black. She's Black.
Well, if you're talking about, there's a difference between Black people. Black people, because I looked up the term, is used socially for racial classification in certain countries. So she would be Black. If you has decided to hit up the Breakfast Club and really open up to Charlemagne and the crew, Kamala specifically addressed her critics who have been questioning her Blackness due to the fact that her parents were immigrants born in India and Jamaica. She spent her high school years in Canada and because she's married to a white man. Here's what Kamala had to say.
They're trying to do what has been happening over the years.
Y'all, Mickey done woke up for real.
Uh,
The music conversation was good. There's one more video. So why do we have to explain our Blackness? Am I Black enough? Man, how are and we're different. I am not different. My parents are Black. Wasn't no other options on nothing. You can check. I think with Tiger Woods around that time it started changing. You could check if you were something else. I don't even know. I'm Black. And we have been what our races, we've been colored, we've been Negro, we've been Black, We've been the NIGGER depend on, you know, I was happy since the 70s. I thought it was the coolest thing when we had the fist. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. And y'all remember them pics with the fist on them that they still make? I thought that was the coolest
thing. But how did we go from being that to what we so divided now? That's the question.
I mean, things were changing. I had an uncle, my Uncle Thaddeus was married to, his first wife was black, his second one was white. And so, I mean, marriages, there wasn't as much interracial, not on this side. Seattle had a lot, and there were places, you know, where you had more interracial marriages. For me, I really learned, stay out people's bedrooms, ain't none of your business. Because you don't understand what somebody's freak level might be, you know, so stay out their bedrooms. It ain't my business to be in their bed. You love who you love, you do what you want to do. It is not my business. You know, I look at this as a job. What is she doing her job? And people forget when they say, oh, well, she was going after black men. She had a job to do.
I mean, yeah,
she had a job. It was, you know, she wasn't just, you know, said, I'm going to go picking up random people and I'm going to prosecute them. There were some things that she did that was great too. She created some programs to help them to get educated so that she stopped the revolving door. But we allowed the Republicans, some of them, to spin the story on her.
Right, I agree.
And we do that. And so when we have a job, sometimes with black women, they always say it's never enough. Black women, we never do enough. Damn it, I done enough. And I know other black women, we give so much of ourselves that at the end of the day, it ain't nothing left to give. It's like we give so much of ourselves. The first thing, when you go to a black woman and you got a black mom, I got a black mom, and something go wrong, all the black women get in there and be like, how we gonna fix this? What we gonna do? And they come up with a plan. We give so much of ourselves that I don't think sometimes people get it. They don't. I give so much of myself to this council seat that people are saying to me, you give too much of yourself, Tonya, but the need is so great.
But I think if it would have been, just say Michelle, Barack couldn't have been the president of the United States if he would have been with Susan. I think
what do you mean? If he was married to a white
woman, he wouldn't have been it.
But we see that times change, and it was a time when we couldn't have a black president.
But I'm saying that's why people. But see, but it was something to that with Barack becoming why they allowed him to be the president. So I don't want us to be fooled. It was a reason. You got to think we just came from a bunch of wars, and then we was going over there, and you got to look. You dealing with the African, because we got to be honest. The United States presidents don't have fires overseas good standings. So you have to come with Barack when you going over into Africa, because they was looking at, we already attacked Muslim countries. Now you got to supposedly a Muslim, because I remember they were saying Barack because his name, he was Muslim, when we know he was a Christian, because that's how he was raised. He was raised by his grandparents. They,
they were white.
Yeah, and they just trying to say his mother was white. Yeah, because remember they used this tactic and say, oh, he was a Muslim. I remember when the John McCain rallies, and he had to no, he's not. He's a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Because they used his daddy was an African.
But how come he couldn't just be a qualified black man? Because that's where I leave it at. We read too much into it.
Right.
He was a qualified black man. I'm not even asking what your religion is. I'm looking at your criminal record.
Well, answer this question for me then. Why when we say if a white person, we say that's American, why we got to be a black American? I mean African American. Why we just not American?
I say I'm black.
Why? No, when you going out, if it says American, why you got to put African American?
I don't put that on it. That's what the government put. I say I'm black. I have always said I'm black. I check the black box, and people know I say that all the time. I check the black box. I'm black, and so whatever that means, and my kids will say, "We know, Mom, you black." Yeah, I'm black, and so I think that, and those are names. That's a name. But my thing, when we look at Barack Obama, was qualified. He was a senator. He was an attorney. He was what, Harvard educated? Was it Harvard? One of them schools he went to? I don't know which one.
Harvard.
Harvard. He was educated, and everybody don't have to go to college. And I'll be the first one to tell you, because my middle son, listen, he would do his homework and leave it at home. Okay, don't tell me about a year and a half ago. You know, I never liked school. I said, no kidding. Your grades reflected that. But he wanted to be a truck driver. He wanted to use his hands. That's his thing. Everyone is not meant to go to college. But getting back to Barack, why wasn't it enough that he was qualified? He was an attorney, an accomplished attorney. He was a senator. He was an accomplished senator. He had a family. He had a supportive Black woman who was beside him, which they dragged her, tried to say she had a sex change. She was a man, just dogged Michelle Obama. But she was his boss at a time. Black women go through so much that people don't get. You know, the at some point there's the fragility of it. We may be fragile inside, although we have a hard coat. Who is protecting us? Because they will drag us. And someone put, what if Vice President Kamala Harris had 5 children by 3 different men, 34 felonies, and slept with a porn star? What if she did that? Because that's what Donald Trump did. What if she did what he did, and you got people saying, we gonna support him, but we stand on family values? What family values are you standing on? The Charles Manson ones? Come on.
Because you have that racial element that's part of the fabric of United States. Remember, they was calling Michelle a monkey.
Sure were.
So, I mean, you know,
continue to and still do.
Look how disrespected Brock got. When have you seen? I remember when John Boehner jumped up, "You a lie," when he was doing the State of the Union. I remember when the governor of Arizona on the tarmac put her finger in his face. Show me another president. But it's always like that. Let's just go to Jackie Robinson in baseball.
Oh God, when he just came out and said that he didn't want.
That was Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson, who said he wouldn't want anybody to go through what he went through.
But they never want. But see, that's the side. They always say, "Oh, sports bring everybody." That's the biggest lie and the hypocrisy in America when they say, "No, it don't." You experience that. Go listen to them players. See, they hide all of that.
And there is still racism in there. Absolutely. They were integrating all white sports. And we're not too far removed. We're not like 200 years from that.
Right.
We are not. Civil rights movement was in the 60s. I was born in the 60s.
Thank you.
It is not, we are not too far removed from it, period. I was born in the 60s. You didn't have equal housing. You didn't have the civil rights bill. People couldn't vote. You know, we're living what was changed. And a lot of this, that 2025 project, man, if y'all don't get out there and vote for nothing else, you ain't got like Kamala Harris. The 2025 project
should make you want to, we go see what our grandparents was experiencing.
That part. Because the 2025 project is real. John McCain getting hung on January 6th. They had erected that stage with that noose on it. That noose was hanging up there swinging for John McCain. Everybody at the Capitol was running for their lives then. They was running for their lives.
But how can he even be able to run?
Because he's white.
When you seen the press conference. I mean, when he was doing that, was telling the people, I'll meet you over there. Yeah, he gaslighted.
He gaslit them.
But that is forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
It be forgiven. But you got to go back to World War II. I remember when Germany, how they did it. Now this how blacks get did, but we be forgetting. They wouldn't even let the black soldiers eat with the white soldiers. The Americans, they had to eat at. This show you how the army segregation. This was doing Germany. Even when they was arresting the Germans, guess who they got to eat with?
Well, you had your black battalions. You know, everybody. Well,
but we fighting on the same team.
My grandfather always put up for Veterans Day. My grandfather, I have a picture. He was in World War I, and we couldn't do the job. Our jobs in the military were putting those bombs in, cooking. They were not the jobs that in the military that were the better jobs. We did the laborers jobs that they felt that white people were too good to do, and that was even in the military. So the black people, we were cooks. we did the cleaning, we did the laborers' jobs, and they just did that. Like I said, to me, people, I'm gonna serve my country, and the military has grown. So as we go along, we have grown, and we got a long ways to go. So I'm gonna leave. Barack Obama was qualified. Let me be clear. He was qualified. He was educated.
And that was Pence. They had some news.
Pence,
the vice president.
Yeah, who they was gonna hang.
Yeah.
And we have to say and support these people. And people, Barack wasn't black enough. Okay, you know what? I'm not getting into the details, because that was the thing.
Who did he marry?
He married a sister,
so
and she kept him grounded. He had his family grow up. They talked about their children. He didn't just
marry any sister. Let's be honest. He could have went light.
And that's a whole nother colorism.
I'm just saying, but some people be like,
he married who he loved.
Right.
He married who he loved.
Right.
That's why I say, y'all stay out of people's bedrooms and lives and personal lives. So we are going to, so one of the things, we're going to go on to the next one, which is, so I got another video, y'all, and we're going to talk about, Nikki, put the video up.
I'm finna mute this and get it playing.
No? Let me explain it. Project 2025 is spearheaded by the Heritage Foundation. It is a comprehensive conservative initiative designed to prepare for a potential Republican administration in 2025. Follow me now. Just follow me. The project outlines an extensive agenda across multiple domains with significant implications for federal governance, immigration, education, and social policies. What does that mean, you ask? Project 2025 would slash, if not eliminate, a lot of programs that African American communities use on a day-to-day basis, from education, housing assistance, and many other programs. So this is the Project 2025 agenda, and it lists a bunch of things that we are potentially going to lose and have to deal with if Project 2025 becomes a real thing. So let's start at the top. Eliminate the Department of Education. Use public funds to pay for private religious schools. Encourage Christian indoctrination through public schools. Dismantle civil rights and DEI protection in all levels of government. Eliminate no-fault divorce. Total ban on abortions regardless of viability or health of the mother. Crazy. Ban all contraceptives. Ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education. Have you guys heard of Project 2025? No? Let me explain it. Project 2025 is spearheaded by the Heritage Foundation.
Okay. So listen, Project 2025 is real, and it's a huge document. We got to know why we voting, why we saying I'm not going to vote for anybody. A no vote is a yes vote for the craziness. Project 2025 is very real. Now, if y'all want to go back to black jobs, because he said it, what's y'all black job? Listen, put your black jobs in the comments, because I think people probably was like, he didn't just say black jobs. He didn't just say black jobs. Yes, he said it and doubled down on it. Okay. So your black job, y'all, this is serious. Where people picture of where they want you to be in this U.S., United States of America, is real. It's real. Project 2025, you need to look into it. It's real. You need to be vote. We can't afford to sit at home and not vote. We can't. You didn't want Joe. Now you got Kamala Harris running. Now you got a problem with her. I got a problem with that, because it's not just about, you may not like 100%, but maybe you like 80% of what she's saying, or 75%. But what I don't like is that other end.
It's rough.
It's crazy with y'all black jobs.
But what was the Democratic? My thing, what is the Democratic think tanks at? What was the counter to the Heritage Foundation with this Project 2025? That's what I'm saying. Like, you see the Republicans, they be pushing their agenda.
And they stick together.
Right.
And I'm going to tell y'all something. Me going to court, Donald Trump stacking them courts, and in fact, y'all Black people, us Black people, stacking them courts affects us as Black people. I was in court yesterday. 15-year-old charged as an adult. 9 felonies. I done been in court sitting there before where there have been this young white guy selling marijuana. You have to be, was it 1,000 feet from a school? In Alpena, he was selling marijuana in pills, and then he was selling them in Davison, marijuana and pills, all within 1,000 feet. He had all kind of other stuff. And so when he was in court, judge was saying, well, who do you have here with you? Is anyone here with you? And he said, yeah, my grandma's here. You know, his father was incarcerated and his mother had some issues, but grandma was there. White children and Black children are not treated the same in the court system. They're not. You are viewed as a threat if you are a young Black man in the court system committing the same acts by many of these judges. So if you are a 14-year-old, 15-year-old breaking an entry and a 15-year-old breaking an entry, and a lot of them judges' mind, you a 15-year-old who would break and enter into their home. Is how they rationalize. Many of them do. You could be breaking in my home. Then 15 years, we're going to get you some help. You know, you see that there's a difference in the white kids. Let that Black kid who have been selling, and I'm sitting up there court thinking, oh my God, it's really unreal. Our Black children are not treated the same in the court system. So what has Donald Trump been doing? Stacking the courts. So if y'all sitting down saying, well, I'm not voting because I don't like her for what she did, you better look at what Donald Trump is doing. He didn't stack the Supreme Court. He's stacking the federal courts. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? So when the Black men all over the United States of America, y'all go to federal courts, they are stacked. They're not going to have y'all out here around they people. Look, we're going to, Donald Trump, what do you call it? The five, the Central Park 5, where he took out the ad.
Yeah, but see what it was. But
said they were animals. They were savages.
But guess what?
They should be killed.
But you know, he was rolling with Democrats when he did that.
He has always been an opportunist, but he was still I don't care about the part with that. I'm speaking of him as a person. He was a Democrat then.
Yeah, I give you that, but I'm saying, but they was rolling. Now they want to bring it up.
But
they should have been saying it then.
But he also said he donated to Kamala's campaign before, but now she's a bad person.
Oh, you know.
It's a copy of the check. He donated to hers. And so when we talk about, you know, why this, you know, I'm gonna get back to the courts, because this is real. Why you think they stacking them courts? You know, he didn't I'm gonna get out Kwame Kilpatrick for y'all. I'm gonna be friends with what's the fool? Because he is a fool. What's that rapper?
Which one? I'm trying to
Kim Kardashian's. What's
Kanye West.
Kanye West. He get Kanye West. He get a few Black people that he feels that he's acclimating himself to Black culture, and they reeling us in. You had Kanye up in there with a Trump hat, "Make America Great Again" in the Oval Office. Oh yeah, I didn't forget that, y'all. He was sitting up there, and Kanye, they was calling him Kanye then, wasn't they? They were.
You know, it was.
They was calling him that.
Yeah,
and so they get a couple people that they think share the same skin tone as us and the value, because we like rap music. I'm like old rap. I'm like Run DMC rap. But my Adidas. I'm old rap, but they think in the gangster rap. He's stacking them courts. And so what happens when we make the choices bad at 15? A lot of people are not making the same choices at 15 as they do at 30, 45, and 65.
Well, how is our people being fooled like this? Because that's no different than when you, I mean, how do we get, that's what I'm saying. How do we constantly get fooled? Because we can have aggressive.
Share this, y'all. Share. Because we got to have honest conversations.
Yeah, because they had Amber Rose at the Republican convention.
Okay. Amber's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Amber, because they get Kanye, and she was with Kanye before.
But I'm saying Hulk Hogan, racist as hell. At
Okay.
the convention, I'm just saying they throwing it in our
They
face.
get star status, people that they think we recognize with. But I believe that we have more good people than we do that are bad. You got to get off your behinds and vote.
Well,
Vote. You got to vote like your life depend on it. Okay.
Right.
Vote for Sonia Massey.
Yeah.
Because she can't vote no more. When she just said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Vote for George Floyd. These are all people who court issues. Vote for Sandra Bland. We still don't know what happened to Sandra. We do. They killed her down. Was it Texas? Sandra Bland. Vote for Trayvon Martin. He can't vote. You don't really have an option. Now, I've been watching some of this. It's this little thing on Facebook where women and black and white women, and they were saying that they felt white women were part of why Hillary didn't get it.
Facts.
Well, I think they're understanding the assignment because, listen, it is a coalition now for women. The women's coalition to get Kamala Harris as the president, understanding the assignment. The women have to support the women. Also, we need our white women to be our sisters in our democracy. We have to have them. We have to work together. The whatever stage, the hanging stage for John Pence is real. We have to understand they stack in the courts. It's real. Look at the Supreme Courts. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I ain't never seen nothing like it. So we have to look at what's happening. If you got kids, you better be voting. And my kids are voting, all three. Voting. I would take them into the vote. Like, this is why we vote. You know, we all now live in different areas.
No, I get it though, but what the Democrats got to do though, they got to be honest too, and they got to fight for blacks. Now we got an Asian hate crime.
But we can't sit at home and tell them not to vote.
I'm not
we be
telling
sitting at
them.
home talking about what we gonna do, but do we ever show up?
Because we'll show up and put them Democrats in. They don't get in if they don't get a black vote, but you'll get an Asian hate crime bill, but you can't get the George Floyd bill passed. Now,
Who do we keep putting in office?
Democrats.
Oh, it's not okay. I'm gonna say
not Democrats,
but the Republicans ain't doing no better.
No, I'm
we
saying
gotta
Democrat.
show up to make them. Okay, let's talk about our state rep.
Yep, Democrat.
Let's talk about. Do we think our congressman is doing enough? We have to.
What is that? But no, hold on. But let's go with Michigan. Mayor, Democrat. State rep, Democrat. Governor, Democrat. Who threw on buffs?
What's
the
buffs?
Glasses, them Cartiers.
Oh,
yeah. Let's
Your girl
go.
ain't that here.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I seen people right down there doing the hustle with her when she came up here. Then the water pots was gone when she got in there. Democrat.
Okay, and so here's the thing where we know we have work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
I'm
not saying that the Democrat is, but we got two. There's only two really that you can vote for.
I'm with you.
It's either gonna be a Republican gonna be president or a Democrat. Ain't no option.
No, I'm voting Democrat, but what I'm not gonna do, I'm expecting something from
we have to force them to do more. Listen, you won't change, and I don't care. The March on Washington, they made them change. Why? Because people came together. Mm-hmm. People got to quit bitching from your sofa. And yes, I said that. Get involved.
What about the people that's involved?
Who what?
I'm saying, what about I go vote?
And just voting is not enough. But I'm going to tell you this. People complain about city council. Come down to city council. See, when people come down there, what do they say? It's really this bad. Y'all really going through a lot. This week. I wanted to be last week, but it was this week. Well, Mickey and Winters, y'all took a nap. Y'all took a nap. I was like, we be up there fighting for our lives. And y'all was napping. Winters texted me that such and such passed. I was like, we was fighting for our lives. I have PTSD literally the next day, too, or wherever, because there's so much. And I see where things are going. And I come share honestly with everyone who watches because it's our community. They vote like they Trump.
Yeah.
I never seen anything like this. And so when you get involved, you can change things. And I'm agreeing with you, Mickey, that I don't like Democrat or Republican, but them the only two we got. So what do? We need to make change. People have to come together for real. Stop voting for people who ain't gonna do nothing.
That's the key thing.
Stop voting for people who ain't gonna do nothing. By the way, vote Jan Marie Arbor 7th Ward. Vote Jan Marie Arbor 7th Ward. Stop voting for people who gonna feed you a lie. Man, I done been lied on so much. I've been questioning some of my stuff. You know, I ain't cheated to the Lord by praying, because you get tired at night. You be like, Lord, I ain't getting back down on my knees and pray before I go to bed. I'm like, okay, God, I'm gonna get out of bed. I done took a couple Tylenol because my prayers are real because I see stuff. We got two, Democrat or Republican. You got to vote one or the other.
No, you do, but I think
and they both need work.
Yeah, I think that's what corrupted this system from where the forefathers started. They never wanted a two-party system. That's why it's so corrupted like it is. We had a third party where they had back in when they was doing it, like you had the wigs, the different ones. Like when you got this, because like you just said, you only got two. We getting offered two. So you got to pick what you get on this, because you know it is, like I said, I know I'm voting Democrat. I always vote a Democrat, but I'm just saying, when we have both houses, don't just, you can get together to put an Asian hate crime bill together.
Okay, but you know what, Mickey? Did you ever go down to protest anywhere?
Sure have, and that's why.
Did you go to Congress? Did you go to the Capitol? Did you go down to Lansing? I done been down to Lansing to protest more than one, and I don't want no more cold weather protest either.
But
I'm saying protest for Tonya Burns.
But we can keep saying that and just like, and that's like leading our people to the slaughterhouse. And that's why when people be saying, did you lose your blackness? Because that's really where the blackness get lost at. I'm just being honest.
Okay, but how do you really lose your black? See, that's the
I can tell you easy how you do it. When you going in there voting, when you saying, oh, we voting to uplift everybody. No, because where's the voting for where you come from, your area, your neighborhood? I get that when they saying you don't have the votes, but we don't never talk about that. And I use a great example from Dennis Pfeiffer when he said you got a majority black council, black mayor, black state rep, and you mean they don't know what's wrong on the north side?
Hold up.
Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. Now, you know.
No, because I did. So that don't.
Look,
I did, and I'm cool with Dennis.
He good people, but he was telling the truth. It was true.
And I said it in that meeting. And I said, when you have Dennis Pfeiffer, who was a white man, who stated, and we all, because I talked to Dennis about, you know, we talk, and it's really like it's a straight shooter conversation.
Yeah.
And he was not lying.
Truth.
Because we do have a black mayor. He said city administrator, black mayor, black city administrator, black police chief. And we still talking about crime.
Even getting voted stuff for the north side. Remember, he called that out because he had really told, he was talking to AC. That's how I got up on the conversation.
And you know what I told him? We elected the wrong black people.
But to answer the question, how do you lose your blackness when you see Ladell or Quincy them?
Okay, that's a good question. Y'all, Mickey got me all over the place. These was my notes.
My bad.
Okay,
you woke me
these
up.
was I should have left him sleep. So how do we lose our blackness? So you're talking about them. You have to know where, and this is where I believe you got to know where you're coming from to know where you're going. Your parents or somebody in the community needs to instill that in you. They need to instill it in you. I remember I taught second grade. I had started out subbing teaching before I was teaching full time.
Right.
And I was in a white school, only black teacher there.
Right.
And they got kind of mad at me because I taught my little number. So starting at Dr. King's birthday, like was the 18th, 15th, from January 15th all the way through the month of February, because your girl was giving her some extra days and month. I was going to get a full 30 days, and I did. So I celebrated Black History from January the 15th to the end of February. And I hung on my classroom door. I had one of the banners down from Atlanta from the Martin Luther King Museum where it had the Freedom Walkers. I hung it on my door, and I left my classroom door open so they could see it. And each child had to take in my class. And I think I had 29 students at that time. And they had to do Black history. And so they researched Black history, and nobody could do the same person. I had some parents who were mad. My principal, Margaret, she had gotten some complaints now because the white parents did not want a Black woman teaching their kids about Black history, that we had a contribution to this society. And it was on the good side of Saginaw, you know. And so they felt, I guess, because I was a light-skinned Black woman, that, okay, maybe we're ready to have a Black woman come in here. My skin was fair enough, but they didn't understand. I was a sister. And so I taught Black history, and we had a great time, and we made it fun. I made it fun. They got to dress like the characters. They practiced their speeches. We did fact sheets. We had a great time with it. And so I remember my principal, she would come into my classroom, and I thought she was just coming in there, you know, because she was cool or something. She was like, she said, I came here because you created a learning environment. She said, and I didn't know she was getting all these complaints. So she was coming in, she would just sit. It was an open door, you know, I didn't have no problem. And she would just sit. And she said, you would keep the children engaged. And so she didn't tell me to almost like it was the last day of school. And she brought me a dozen roses, and it made me cry because I didn't even know everything she was. And Margaret was white. I didn't know everything she was absorbing from me so that I could continue to teach and to teach the children at the level, you know, to where, you know, I was, the students were picking up, they were like little sponges, that she was handling it on her end and basically like, you know, getting them off of me and saying, no, this is what's happening. Because she was in my classroom. I'm thinking she just coming in to, you know, she want to say what's up. And she was not, because she was having all kind of me. And the superintendent came to my class. They was mad because I was teaching Black history. They were really mad. Some parents, not all of them. And so you learn as you go. But I had someone who allowed me, and I was, you know, to teach our history and to share. But I had some other people who were saying, we want her to continue because we need this. So it was Dr. Barris at the time, Saginaw, and then Margaret, I forget Margaret's last name, and she passed away of cancer, who were making sure I could do my job and do what was upon my heart to give to nurture those children in education. So I don't know how we got off there, but Mickey, you didn't have me all over. We got two parties. We're gonna play one more video. We're gonna kick some facts.
I got
you. Got me all over the place, Mickey.
For years, I've been told, hey, she put thousands of Black men in jail unjustly for marijuana charges.
We looked into this claim about VP Kamala Harris and found that it's actually misleading. The number first came from a 2019 Democratic presidential debate where Tulsi Gabbard said
she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
But here's what we found. During Harris's tenure as California's Attorney General from 2011 to 2017, over 1,900 people were admitted to state prisons for marijuana or hashish-related charges. But cannabis-related cases in California are prosecuted by district attorneys in individual counties, not attorney generals. Kamala Harris was the district attorney for San Francisco from 2004 to 2011. And during her tenure, she only sentenced 45 people total, not just Black people, to state prison for marijuana-related charges, according to Mercury News. So no, Kamala Harris did not send thousands of Black men to prison for marijuana charges.
Listen, is it back on? Yeah, you back up. Listen, so I know some of those who want to talk about city council, but I do a lot more. My family has always been very political, and as a little girl, oh, that's me ringing.
Yeah, I'm like,
wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. Listen, and so as a little girl, I was.
We working.
Listen,
I tell people we working.
Listen, my residents be calling on the weekend. Okay,
they see you live right now.
Listen, my residents matter. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So listen, and I did block a few people. Listen, because my peace means everything. I was like, oh, time to block. But politically, as a little girl, religion and politics. And so my council job is what I do, not necessarily who I am 100% of the time. But as a little girl, I don't know if I told the story, my uncle Ollie Pounds, who South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. I know.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my phone.
Right. I know.
I see.
And as a little girl, it was my grandmother's brother. And he taught me a lot of things. And so I was able to travel all over as a little girl. And with politics was always a big thing in my family, and especially in the South. And so one of the most respected jobs that we had then was pastor and to be a mortician, funeral director. Those were powerful jobs. They funded the civil rights. You didn't know that? Those were positions that we have always been able to hold. And so pastor was one, and funeral directors. Mickey looking at me. I'm just telling you what it is,
No
Mickey.
wonder your hands cold. I'm just messing with you.
So I'm just saying. And so as a little girl, my uncle Ollie Pounds, and we were there one Easter break, and my grandmother, I traveled a lot with her. And so we were in Tennessee at his church. And man, you be in church all day in the South. Whew, wasn't no air. And them little church fans, that was done by, I know the church fans had the funeral directors on them, actually. Where you have, whatever, the little praying hands or whatever. And they were given by the funeral homes. And that was a smart way to really kind of like, they still do that to this day. And so I remember my Uncle Ollie, he was a reverend. So he wasn't, it was a calling for him, not a job. He went to school for it. He was a reverend, and he has a statue there that they have a what do you call it? A monument for him, because he gave so much. One, he taught us don't drink water from the tap. I remember I'm like his wife, my Aunt B, and I got some pictures. I was on the little porch over there, and he would go, they stayed literally like in the mountain, where the mountains were right there. And we would have to go to the mountains to collect spring water in glass jugs. And literally as a little girl, I was like, why can't we drink that? And they were very, very adamant. Not just that, taking a bath in the tub, because, you Black, you get in the tub, you got to soak. You're gonna be clean. That's how Black families are. And we could only stay in. You had to get in, wash up, get out, because they didn't want us to, he didn't trust the water then. And that was in the 70s in Tennessee. And so as a little girl, he would sit on the porch. He had a swing on there. And I remember me and him were really close, and he would always talk, and he had great stories. He was born on the 29th on leap year. And he was a pastor that was just always there. And he drove a LeSabre Buick. And I remember telling him, I was like, why are there no women in the pulpit? And he was like, well, and he was a Baptist pastor. He was explaining to me, and as a little girl, I didn't understand. So when we went to church that Sunday, he allowed me to sit in the pulpit. And I think for me, it was life-changing, because it showed me that little girls or girls could be places we normally weren't allowed to be, because the deacons, some of them had a little fit. You can't have her. She a little girl. He was checking them. And I was allowed to sit in the pulpit. Y'all, they couldn't tell me nothing. I had a little turquoise dress at the time with a little turquoise shawl with some white lace and some white patent leather shoes. You couldn't tell me nothing that day, because that memory stuck with me to show that women have places where we traditionally may not be seen or should be. And women have every place. As Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader said, women should be in every place that decisions are made. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader said, women should be in places, all places where decisions are made. And I believe that. And I stand by that. So we're gonna now go on to my what do you call it?
Back to what you had for the show today. We're gonna get back.
Man, that was on the show too.
Okay.
It was. That was a part of the show.
See, I ain't mess it up.
You did not. That was because I was gonna talk about Kamala. So that was number one. So we are going to go on to I need you to go to the video. Vote Jan Marie Arbor. And I'm gonna have to pull up her thing to send it back to.
Okay, what other video you
want? This week's meeting was terrible. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was terrible. I mean, it was PTSD was literally my PTSD after this week's meeting. Man, I went home the next day. I just had to, my disconnect was, listen, I be telling everybody, when my dishes is dirty, it is only wine glasses and coffee cups. And so I had, because
right here. I ain't sure that. I mean, I'm gonna get.
I'm gonna have to get the what's the name to the point.
Okay, I got you. What's the time?
That one. Hold on, because that one was not my sequence.
Okay.
And so, y'all, this is not Mickey. This is me, because I'm gonna skip. So, I want you to do the TikTok first of the ethics where Candace defends. Doug was really. He came to that podium again.
Talk about this fact checking, right?
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
No, this should be a TikTok. Okay, if you scroll down, because I'm gonna start with that one. It may be towards the bottom. Okay, go up. Okay, it's a TikTok, and I think I wrote underneath the bottom of it. It's the ethics. Okay. No, Candace. Hold on. That one. Where's the TikTok at?
Ain't nothing with that. That's just.
Okay, let me go back and send that through, because sometimes I don't know why this stuff don't always go through to you. I don't know why. I don't know why that didn't come through. Okay, I'm gonna resend this back because people need to know. And then I'm gonna do the other one after that when I want you to do the fact check one, because people need to understand. Vote Jan Marie Arbor, because one thing we're getting is people showing up. Now she defended Doug. I want y'all to see why she defended him. And then I'm gonna go into showing her behavior when she was stating about not cussing. And Doug is the one who went in and called people the N-word. And then someone sent me a text. And I'm gonna put the number up there because I don't care. You send me a text, you better put who your name is, so everybody else can find out who it is. And I'm gonna put it up there. And I was Sergeant Villarreal didn't have his camera on. That ain't my problem. He told his boss, Chief Green. And not only that, city employees heard Doug say N-N-N. You are N-I-G-G-E-R. They heard it. They heard it. So is they counted before? Well, how many times they say I said the word? I'm not saying it today because actually I said it when I said it, it's for impact.
Mm-hmm.
But he had said, and I'm saying I don't care. He had called people niggers, and they reported. Sergeant Villarreal reported it, and so there's I believe some city employees who said it, and then Baby Doll had heard it, so he had said it. So Doug's obsession is crazy to me. It's crazy. And if y'all see, he was in there doing this in the meeting, and doing this, in the meeting. And I'm going to show y'all on videotape where he was doing this. And something is wrong with him. So let's play this where she defended him.
Shed light on some things that I feel have been happening unfairly or feels a bit retaliatory against a resident of my ward, Mr. Doug Matthews. There was a meeting that occurred in which there were some questionable financial decisions from one of my colleagues. And ever since that meeting, my colleague has taken it upon herself to, it feels like it's a retaliation. Residents should not fear for their safety coming to meetings. Residents should not be retaliated against. Residents should not be called names and accused of things they're not doing we should not, and at the council, we use the word weaponize so often. So I want to say that colleague should not weaponize her position as a council person. She should not weaponize her race as a Black woman, and she should not weaponize her gender as a woman to create false narratives that could put people's lives in danger. I do call on my colleague today to certainly maybe change course, because there are a lot of things that are said about me that are not true, that I don't agree with, that I do not like. But what I cannot do is retaliate against members of this community, because they are still members of this community, regardless if we like what they're saying or how they're saying it. And keep in mind, if my colleague was disrespected, and especially in a way that attacked her race or her gender, I would absolutely stand up for that colleague. But we cannot, again, weaponize these things against people. And please believe that just because we are Black, it doesn't mean we can't weaponize the current social capital that we have, with everyone being aware that Black people need to be respected. I wholeheartedly believe that we are in a good place society-wise as far as Black people being able to have a voice. But what we don't want to do is take that voice and begin to marginalize other people in the way that we're marginalized, nor use that voice in a way that when there really is an issue, people will not believe us, because we've already used that in a way that it was like, well, that wasn't the issue there, so how do we believe you now? And so again, I'm just here on behalf of Doug Matthews today to say that I would ask this board to review our meetings, if you've not already, and take a look at some of the actions that have been done toward him by my colleague. And just really, I don't know, take the appropriate steps to maybe make some suggestions as to what happens when a council person is retaliating toward a member of the public because they did not like their point of view. Thank you.
You live. So you want me to go back to this?
Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to put that up yet. We get to that, because we're gonna go to, now this is the man
This one you want to put up?
not yet. I want to play the fact check. I want you to put, now this is a man who comes there every week. He was blowing kisses at heterosexual men. He mocks and says crazy. He attacks every Black woman there is, besides the Black woman, the women that do what they tell them to do. The Black women who have marching orders, the Black women who adhere to his foolishness. He protects. Why? They're going to continue to adhere to his foolishness. Period. And so I'm not his type of Black woman, because I'm not going along with his racist rhetoric. But he attacks Black women, not just me, Jeremy Carter. He attacked Carol McIntosh. He was going after Eric Mays, going after Jan Marie Arbor, going after Billy Dance. He goes after Black women. Now, the Black women he don't go after are the ones who do his bidding for him. I'm not his type of Black woman, because I'm not going along with his racial bigotry and his foolishness. I'm not. So we're going to play, because this is, Candace Michat should denounce Doug for saying nigger, nigger, nigger. And she has not denounced him. She should denounce him and say he's wrong. She has not done that. So in the fact check one, Mickey, did I put, let's put that one up, because that one, maybe it's the whole thing, because I didn't put a time.
Oh, on this one right here?
Yeah, I did not. So
it's 6 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, it's not that long. This is good, y'all. And thank you to 810 Flint, 810 Flint for doing the clips, because let's roll it.
I got them from you this night.
Hello, everyone. My name is Doug Matthews, and I'm a good government activist from the 7th Ward.
Excuse me, Mr. Wilson, that's your second warning.
As the election for the 7th Ward approaches, it's crucial to examine what each candidate truly represents. Candace Michat has a strong sense of fairness, a passion for justice, and a commitment to solving the water crisis. She stands up for what's right, even when it's not politically convenient, showing her integrity and her intolerance for foolishness.
You better relax, because you ain't safe. Fuck you think you're talking to, evil. Go fuck. Fuck you think you're talking to. 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 Fuck you think you're talking to.
In stark contrast, voting for Jan Marie Arbor invites foolishness, supported by her allies, Tonya Burns and Arthur Woodson. Their recent public feud reveals their true natures. Woodson, who talked with Burns daily, now calls her a snake, sneaky, a mess, and part of a basket of snakes that includes 810 Media, Jedediah Brown, and the scandalous Lentil Law Group. Burns responded by labeling Woodson a liar, manipulative, disrespectful to women, and full of lies. Arbor has shown her true colors as part of the Burns crowd. Campaigning, she approached my good friend and neighbor of 9 years, Deborah Paul, who is Black, and spread lies about me, trying to stir racial tensions. Deborah immediately called me and then forwarded a text to me where Arbor repeated her lies. Arbor conveniently avoided race basing, however, when she spoke to Suzanne Seelig, another neighbor who is white. When Suzanne learned about her duplicity, she promptly yanked Arbor's campaign sign from her front lawn. Moreover, some of these individuals claim credit for influencing Sergeant Vincent Villarreal to remove me from a council meeting, falsely alleging racist comments I never made. I filed a complaint against him. Each day, the Flint Police Department delays addressing this complaint further harms my reputation. If he didn't say what Burns and her crowd says he did, why won't he simply deny it? I can't be the only one who noted how overly chummy Burns was with Villarreal that night, and how he chose to speak with her first over Council President Dr. Liddell Lewis.
And now here she come, finna jump on somebody.
Listen, I'm talking to Councilwoman Burns first alone. Everybody stay in here and her and I will speak up. Thank you.
Arbor is willing to race bait and lie her way into her seat. Let's keep the 7th Ward free from such disgraceful conduct and support Candace Mouchette, a leader with integrity, commitment, and the ability to make positive change.
Fuck you think you're talking to. 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 Fuck you think you're talking to.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to address the issues. I think it's really unfair that we have someone speaking to another person's character when the facts actually state. And I'm going to read what Doug Matthews wrote, because there have been racial remarks made. He stated, one, I was not Black. I'm not Black. I don't know what box I checked. He said I was orange. I was pumpkin colored. And as he's over there now doing his eyes whining. Now, this is the good public service person with the childish behavior. I am a Black woman. Our skin, in case you didn't know, we are an array of colors. We're melanated. You stated, hey, snake bite, fomenting hatred, racial hatred again, just another day at the office. By the way, your avatar is pumpkin colored, not Black. Look at him again. He's over there. And we know who he represents. This behavior is childish. I wouldn't want him representing me in anything. I wouldn't. Those words that were said, which were hateful, they were hateful. I didn't file the police report on you, Doug, but I would have been happy to do it. The residents did, and also the sergeant did hear it when you said N. He told Chief Green. So for those who want to really do something, file a complaint with the Michigan Department of Civil Rights, because that's where we change things. There's a lot of things that come here in verbiage that's used, but there is no place for racial hatred by a man who claims He's the savior of people. He's a good activist. Shame on him. He should be embarrassed. He should be embarrassed as he's exhibiting this behavior over there. I wouldn't want him saying to me, to represent, I would denounce him, and you should be denounced. Your behavior and your words should be denounced, and you should seek psychological help.
Hi, I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise. I know this is hard to hear.
So I didn't make this up. It sounds like a story that would have been made up. This guy kept doing this and this and this, and he called people the N-word, blue kisses. Oh, yeah, but hold on. Before we put that one up. Yeah, look, I don't know who 810-610-2056 is, but if you're sending me a text message, and I suspect this, was from Doug's camp or something. And they used my personal cell phone number. It was not on my city phone. It came to me at 11:37 last night. It said, FOIA confirms no body cam on Villarreal on June 10th. Who is lying? Doug, you're still lying because other people heard you. He doesn't always wear body cam. His issue that Sergeant Villarreal spoke to me before Liddell. Grow up, Doug. You too old for that nonsense. I had approached Villarreal. She was trying to jump in on the conversation, and I was not having a conversation with her. My conversation was not with her. She had no right to be in the conversation. She has a problem. She has a problem. And he told her, no, I'm talking to Councilwoman Burns, period. She was trying to move herself to be in there. The girl got a problem. Something is wrong with her. So it wasn't overly chummy. He did his job. What he didn't do was subscribe to her nonsense and Doug's nonsense. And many people are saying with Doug, how did he make it out of there? And people were outraged at him. The police saved his behind. They did. He should be thanking Sergeant Villarreal. Besides, can you put that back up? I want that text message.
Oh, you want that back?
I sure do. Because when you send me a text message, you gonna own it. So whoever phone number this is, which only person who FOIA, Doug FOIA'd it, so it's got to be coming from Doug. FOIA confirms that it was he didn't have on body cam. Okay, so what? That man is not gonna lie. He is a sworn officer. He's not gonna lie. Neither are the other people who were there. The numerous people. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So whoever the 610-2056, y'all give him a call. Give that person a call. Ask them. They didn't want to put who they came from. And it was not somebody that says this sender is not in your contact list. It is not. Because yes, and I'm going to get into that. I sure did receive death threats. I don't answer my phone. You go write the voicemail if you're not in my contact list. Period. So Doug did the FOIA. So we're going to assume it came from Doug's camp. No one else did the FOIA but Doug, who called people the N-word. Candace Mushat has not denounced him. She's his type of person. She accepts racism. She will do anything to get to where she wants. She does not care who she has to step on. She will do anything, including support a racist. Now, his neighbors need to know that. His neighbors need to know what Doug's behavior is. He gave their first name and last names on that video. He put their first name and last name and said they were his neighbors. It won't be hard to find them. They need to know who the real Doug Matthews is. They need to know. And how dare he keep lying on Jan Marie? He is a habitual liar. So this got to be Doug. This was sent to me last night. FOIA confirms Doug did the FOIA. That is not, he's not lying, because there were other people who said it, who said he said it. So let's put up what we know let's put up that 300,000. Look, I deal with facts, y'all. So what we do know is what Candace did vote on, because she's unethical. So she is affiliated with this group, Great Lakes Aquatic Habitat Network. That is her nonprofit she's affiliated with, associated with. And she said, I put that in before I worked for the city. Okay. So you did. She didn't tell us that. She got caught. She didn't volunteer that. She got caught up in it. Kind of like Liddell's when she voted for Cyrus Park, and Judy said, well, Tonya, I didn't know she had put in for it beforehand. You know, she never told me when there were two people on the ad hoc committee, Judy and Liddell. How Judy didn't know Liddell put in for $50,000. Then turned around and put in for another $25,000. Liddell got $75,000 to her nonprofit, and Candace voted in committee meeting. She voted yes. She voted yes on this $300,000. She voted yes on the $300,000 for her own nonprofit in committee. She voted yes in committee to send it to council. So she voted yes. She is unethical as they come. So why doesn't Doug support? Look, here's the fact. Doug Matthews, fact check this. She voted yes on it. Check the record. You want something to do? Check the record. Check the record with Liddell's too. But see, Liddell and Candace are his type of Black people. They do what they want them to do. They do the bidding for them. And this is a problem. I don't care. For me, it is the people. How are council people voting yes on their own resolutions, which is a violation of ethics according to the charter? It's a violation of ethics. We have an ethics code in the charter. Candace voted yes in committee to give herself $300,000. There it goes, y'all. It's a matter of public record. I gave it to y'all. So you said, Mickey, you gonna blow it up? You blowing it up. It's on there. So we're gonna move on to the next thing, because we know now Jedediah came to town. I feel like it should be a song like Jedediah came to town. I have no rap career.
Me neither.
So he came, and I think that when you have a group of people who are very steadfast, who were very steadfast in saying that they want Liddell Lewis gone. It's very real. And if you look at some of the videos, those are all the people she's thrown out of city council.
For real? Who was that? Oh, she did that.
Yeah. And that's her list. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I want to go to, let's put up the video. Mickey running through a whole list of stuff.
I was just looking at some stuff.
So I want to go through to, there's another video clip, and I need to get on this one. This video clip, because we know that Liddell Lewis was receiving, she said she was getting threatened. And so she was receiving threats. And she felt that her police escort was still in need. I disagree, because she jumped out that car. And I saw there are several video clips of it. And there's one where before she got to the house that her and Jedediah are talking in the car. She didn't feel that. She rolled up on, then she said they were blocking the wrong side of the street. No, girl,
car.
You was on the wrong side of the street.
Right. It was her car.
Right.
She forgot the resident asked her to move the car.
Right. They listen. I was only there on that video for the comments. The comments were good. So she was not terrified. She rolled up, not once but twice. Rolled up once on him. He talked to her. Then she went down about 4 more houses and jumped out the car. That's when she had her fuchsia velveteen 2-piece velour bell bottom Foreman Mill jogging suit on. And yes, I'm being shady.
She was being on her baby D mode.
She did remind me of Baby
on Friday, Baby D.
She jumped out and she jumped out and jumped. Look, she wasn't scared of y'all.
She was chasing Day Day.
Was you Day Day?
Mm-mm.
Who was Day Day?
Jedediah.
Jedediah was Day Day.
She She was here for hashtag BDE.
Right. Somebody tell Miss Bev, you all about 4'11". Miss Bev was like you not getting ready to do this. And she went, I'm like, Miss Bev, like 4'11". Liddell was the tallest person there. So she jumped out the car. First, up down 4-5 houses. She pulled up to him. He was on this side. She pulled up to him. He walked over to, she was right there. And he was talking to her. He had his megaphone in there.
Mm-hmm.
She came to council, told a big lie, a horrendous lie. She told a big lie.
Mm-hmm.
Then she drives down, parks what they were calling her burner car. They did call it a burner. They was calling it her car, the burner car. She got a burner phone in the burner car. And she got out. She was not scared.
It sure wasn't.
Liddell Lewis is clowning the Flint Police Department. She's clowning Chief Green. She's clowning Chief Green, and she's clowning the Flint Police Department. She don't need no escort. She jumped out and was like, look, what's up? I want to see what's up with y'all.
She was a gangster. She was
a gangster. She rolled up on the wrong side of the street
and blocked
y'all. But she showed it. Pulled up on the wrong side of the street, blocked y'all, and jumped out her burner car.
And told that resident, hold up, I'm doing
Did she tell the resident
when
that?
the lady told her, can you move? I'm trying to get to my house. But kept that conversation going.
Just rude. So in the there's Unapologetic Keys. She had a really good one, which shows her her video.
Yeah, you know that was my footage. Thanks to A10. I was right there.
I know Winters was yelling at you, telling you get back out there, what you doing, getting in the car. You got to
after that woman.
That was after that.
Did you see me standing behind the family? Because the guy that signed the recall.
She was out there with about 30
because he was looking at her like I blended in with their family. That's how I got to get that footage. I was standing behind, I think, his mother. Because they was like, are you really walking up in our yard?
She jumped out that car. She does not, we can't get police to they don't have enough police. And the police want to be on the street, not guarding Liddell Lewis, President of Flint City Council, who clearly does not need an escort. She rolled up on them but play that video. I just sent it to you. I was like, she wasn't playing with y'all. It's like Jedediah not gonna come down some movie. She out looking at grass. Girl, stop that lie.
Oh, she said
just lying.
She's out looking for grass.
Looking for grass. Just stop that lie.
And we were the grass. We was the grass. So it was some truth in it.
It was just a bad lie. Let me know right before you hit the play sound.
Bless the child. You know she can't lie.
But we have to call out them lies. She jumped out there. She should not have a police escort. She is clowning the Flint Police Department. She is clowning people who really should have an escort. I was told several times that I should get this was actually by the Flint Police Department, and they wanted to know about other behaviors. And I told them, I said, no, if I feel, because I have some other resources, I said, I don't want to take any police off the street if it gets more serious, because they watch the Facebook and they watch my Facebook and they watch the other suspected Facebooks. I ain't easily scared. I'm just really not the one. And I declined numerous times to be driven to city council because the police need to be on the street. So I've taken other steps for my safety, and I'm fine with it. Now you roll up on the sister I carry. I flunked the test the first time, I think, because you ain't supposed to shoot to kill. But you coming for me, I'm trying to go home every day. Okay. And I'm a damn good shot. Okay.
Okay.
I'm a damn good shot. Okay.
So we making it out of here, what you saying?
We gonna make it out.
Okay, well, that's all I needed to know.
Making it out.
Because you was just saying you at first. You ain't had a
we gonna make it out.
Okay, get French today then. We.
So I take some serious calls, but I would not, and I did decline. I declined several times to get a police escort. I did. And I had talked to Chief Green, and I had talked to Sergeant Booth, and I had talked to the Michigan State Police. I declined because they watch my page, and other things. But for me, I didn't feel like that, because I got people who are retired from the police department who, back in the day, the police was doing some stuff that may not have been, and they'd be like, look, we got you.
If you don't want it, I'll take it.
But the police escort?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I don't want that. I like my privacy.
No, give me yours. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
yeah.
Now tell them to come.
Yeah, but see, I got people that get at my house and
But can you send that help to me?
I have had to be dropped off before, and they thought it was heightened, where I was dropped off and I was picked up.
Oh,
Which
well, I
I
could get picked
don't
up.
like that, because our meetings, we don't know when they end.
Well, listen, just sum it up. Can I get that being dropped off and picked up to council?
No, we ain't wasting that. There's people out there getting shot, and it's crimes they could be investigating. So let's
I can't wait till we play this.
Play that video, because she clowned the Flint Police
we
Department.
about to clown. You said I don't need that.
You don't need that.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know, she did tell you was cute, didn't she?
Shit. Here we go. Here we go. Let me mute time.
Trying to holler.
Liddell Lewis out here watching people get the recall against her. I know. And don't threaten these people that's signing. Don't threaten them. Was that a signature, Kawana? Did you get a signature? Right there. Liddell Lewis is out here trying to intimidate her second ward residents from signing. She's out here intimidating her second ward residents from signing. Oh my God, I don't believe this lady that came and did this. The boss. Liddell Lewis out here intimidating her residents not to sign the recall. She's out here intimidating her residents. She's out here intimidating her residents not to sign her recall. She's out here intimidating her residents. Okay. She's out here intimidating her residents.
No, we ain't gonna have that. They need to win.
I got put out Wednesday for saying absolutely nothing. I got put out Wednesday for saying absolutely nothing. It was not me, it was somebody else. And she insisted it was me and put me out. But she ain't doing her job.
Councilwoman, you might want to move your car because you want to get through.
This is like resident intimidation.
That's exactly what it is. You got the camera roll.
Can y'all move the car so she can get by?
I'm good. I know you do. I promise. I just want to get her because this is resident intimidation. How can you do this? This is like intimidating your resident.
Somebody needs to video that.
Resident trying to get out. I know. Liddell Lewis got out at a resident's house that was signing a petition.
Come on, y'all. Let's not be ignorant because I'm not ignorant. So we're going to say, look, one of the things I'm telling you is my experience. This is what they're.
I'm gonna make sure you get back to your car.
She good. Real good.
This is like resident intimidation. I'm good. But this is like resident intimidation. You see your resident signing against you and you get out. You get out.
Hey, y'all, she won't move. Let Mama Mary see if she can get through here so she can let us through.
We can call it. Watch out. Don't hit nobody. Watch out.
But I did attempt to have a conversation with him.
Fuckers to keep coming here doing these requests. If y'all want Tia in here, stop sending all these requests so I can see her requests. I got a whole bunch of requests.
Yeah. So listen, it was clear she was not scared. She's clowning the Flint Police Department. She's wasting our resources. She sits and lies on that council that she needs an escort. When she rolled up in there in the burner car, just everybody in there that was out there, she didn't put out a council. Kawana Mack and Mary been put out, and Bab. I mean, with Antar and Jedediah. I mean, everybody out there, she is putting out numerous times. I can't even count anymore. You know, and she's not afraid. She's clowning the Flint Police Department. She pulled up, and someone has got some more. I think it's on Jedediah's, where you show she's 4 or 5 houses down, where she pulls up next to him on the wrong side of the street. But when she gets to city council, she states they were blocking traffic. No, girl, you rolled up in that burner car, jumped out, told the resident what to wait, Mickey. Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. Told the resident, because she wasn't going to move the burner car on the wrong side of the street. The video ain't lying. And everybody got that video. I don't know how many videos of that clip, because everybody out there had a phone.
Right.
Everybody was capturing that. So it's about, I don't know how many different views of that. She was not scared. And then got in the council and said, she's afraid of Jedediah. Girl, when? You jumped out that car. Was like, it's on and popping. She's not scared. She's comfortable wasting resources. She's comfortable saying, you know, and lying that she needs a police escort. She didn't have one and need one when she jumped out with all, and none of them people liked her there. None of them people liked her. Not one of them people liked her there. Not one. She jumped into the fire, which was gangster.
Gangster.
It was gangster. I gotta give her that one. She was gangster. The gangster jumped out. Hey, you know. And she was not scared. There was no reason for her to get out her car. She wasn't. She said, I was out checking grass. No, you was out checking people. She was out checking people and got checked by the people. When you got that many people who have come together to say, hey, we want you gone, they're doing that recall and they want her gone. You had them people, they want her gone. And they're serious. She got out to check them, said she was out checking grass. Now, the video from beginning to end, did you see her checking any grass?
She was checking grass.
What grass was she checking?
People with 2 feet was walking that strange looking grass.
She was not scared. So she's comfortable taking a police ride and claiming she's scared. It's kind of like, you know, the girl the boy who cried wolf. You cry wolf all these times, and we finally need it. She should be ashamed. She should not be having. The police have no business taking her. It is nothing. Ain't nobody coming after her. None. Just jumped out that car. That girl is not scared. Not at all. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's go to crime is down. Listen, I was somewhere yesterday and someone got shot in the Regencies yesterday. And they texted me, called, and my phone had went to
I'm finna meet you.
Almost what, 200,000.
So I got a couple questions.
So how is our selling in the city of Flint? I mean, but again, this is when we go back to the neighborhoods. You know, how are we keeping up with our neighborhoods?
Like I look at it too, you got like she said, you got crime on the rise. You got.
Well, I ain't gonna say it's on the rise. Actually, it's going down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the good part. But people gotta care, and that goes back to what I said at the beginning. You know, so we have a lot of people, they aspire to leave the north side. So I mean, it's going to take. I'm going to go here. So I was in the process of starting a neighborhood association. Okay. And I'm not going to say where, but just know Second Ward. And through neighborhood associations, that's how you get money to your neighborhood. Okay. And I also have monthly meetings. This is going on like year 3 of me having these monthly meetings. Okay. the attendance, in my opinion, is too light for the amount of problems that we have in our city. When we did our first meeting for neighborhood association, I had nobody show up. And through ARPA, let me go here, through ARPA, we had neighborhood associations apply for this money. And one of them is on the South Side, 2nd Ward. They got, I'll probably just say almost like $400,000 to redo the roof and the body of these old homes, to restore these homes through the neighborhood association. So here I am. I'm here saying, hey, let's establish this neighborhood association. So that's how we can get these brand grants, these other grants, this ARPA.
Unmuted. Hold on. You unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, you unmuted.
Okay, so put the crime stats up.
I got
'Cause
you.
I don't listen. She told me in council I need to do more than just pray. Girl, I'm ready to get you. I'm going to get her all the way together because I don't just put my energy and my time. And I have done this for years with being a mother of 3. You have to scroll up some more because I have helped create and mentored children for over 2 decades. So she gonna tell me I shouldn't be at these. I'm not gonna just show up to the crime scenes and just pray. Yeah, I'm gonna show up at the crime scenes and not only just pray, I'm gonna do something about it, as I have done before. COVID stopped a lot of things I used to do, and I've talked about too. Let's put up the crime scene because I'm gonna talk about when I did a youth mentor programs. I did the last one that I worked with,
How about this
and
one
I
right
do,
here?
yeah. So a mentor program where I have the last one I did with it was with Cookie, Trishelle, Mercedes Kenny, Tracy Frazier, and we did it at Hamley High School, and that was the last one that I worked with a group. But I individually mentor young girls. That's just been my whole adult life, and I've mentored at the schools that I used to teach at. So I don't just put my actions. She better check my resume first because I'm gonna throw up what I have done. I'm not going to play with her. And it was what I'm working on now is a program with Pastor Jannard Lakes at Spirit of Victory Church. You say that's your Bible, right?
Yeah. But I don't like him as the pastor. I'm just messing.
I
with
do
you.
because look, he
That's
about
my
to get
guy.
caught up in here, Pastor Lakes.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
And so Pastor Lakes has got a program. He had posted about the violence that was happening. And was at where the 12-year-old girl got shot in her bed on Canterbury and Clio Road. And then we had the hit list. And so Pastor Lakes had, I think the week before, in between his sermons, or right, yeah, I think in between, it was on a Sunday. And he had put in there, and people started tagging people of children who have been killed in homicides. I started going through that list, Mickey, and I knew a lot of the mothers and the kids because I've dealt with them. And so has Jamaica Patrick. She did too. One of her best friends, Deborah, lost her son. And I knew a lot of these parents. And so I had told Pastor, like I had texted him that same day the 12-year-old had passed away. I called him and I texted him to say, what do you have for young ladies? And I wish I had have known about what you were doing. And so I've been visiting this church for a couple of years, and I like Pastor Lakes. I like his message. I like that young people are drawn to his church. And I visit a lot of churches. The young people are drawn to that church, and it really is a come as you are. So on here, put up on the big screens, because I can't see. So Liddell Lewis said crime is down. In the red means crime is up. So wherever you see a column, that means crime is up. And so it gives you the percentage that it is up, in the different categories. So she's lying. So for our categories, we look at they're up. Now, here was something when I did learn, leave this up on the big screen. I remember looking at the crime stats because I followed them and I read them. I always have. When they stopped putting them up, I had a big problem with that, and I vocalized that. And there was a big, I now understand. I was like, why is criminal sexual conduct so high? And that had been up. It was really high, the percentage. And I'm going to tell you why it was high, which we found out during, I think it was our last meetings, 2 meetings. 237 children were new cases of criminal sexual conduct just in Flint and not in Genesee County. 237 children. So in these crime stats, I was like, why is this so high? And it's going to continue to be high because some of these cases are still in court. They're still in court. So that category, crime code 36001, or which one is it? All of those. We're going to see as these cases are being prosecuted, those categories were high because we had 237 children that were sexually abused just during the period of COVID. So crime is up. So this is just one of them. You can go, Mickey, put up the next. There's another one. And this one, what month is this for? June 30th. Let's go to July. And so she can say, oh, no, I'm not going to, crime is down. Crime is down. Y'all, we know the news don't report our crime. They don't. They don't. What month is that? Okay. So this one, y'all, what does it say about crime? Crime is up. Somebody tell her to quit lying. Crime is up. Can you make it big, Mickey? Because you know I can't see. And so we look at these and it's saying crime is up again, 300% in negligent homicide, 200% vehicle negligent homicide, boating vehicles, justifiable homicide up 100%, murder up 26.7%, sexual penetration, unforceable blood affinity 100%. And those cases, we got to keep it remind us, 237 children were sexually abused just during COVID in Flint. We have got some problems here and they need to start addressing it. So go down. Burglary, entry without force intent, larceny and pocket picking. I thought it was pickpocketing. So, you know, that it's up. So when we look at the bottom, total part 1 homicides up 26.7%. And so when we look at crime, what did she say? Crime is down. What did them stats say? What do the stats say, y'all? Those not my stats. And look, everybody don't come to a call for gunshots. They don't always show up. I didn't show y'all some of them where they don't. That don't include people who may not have been a good shot, thank God. But if we had, I remember talking and having a conversation with Chief Green. He said, Tonya, there are people who get shot, it's gunshots all day. There's a lot of them just not good shots. So imagine if they were. A lot of these are our young people. They had a hit list. That's serious. And she told, oh no, crime is down. So that's just like them saying, look, January 6th didn't exist. January 6th didn't exist. She needs to stop lying. I put the facts up for y'all. So I want to go to another one, the one where AK Cole, because I'm going to address this. This is different. Do I need to resend it to you? You got to find it. And y'all, I'm sorry. We are unpacking a lot. And I think, this is the one. I'll resend it to you to the top. So it should be dinging in there. So crime is not down. We all have to work together. And these young kids, once I go over this, we're going to get into what lead does to the mind. Because we have had too many kids. When that little girl was laying in her bed and got shot in her bed sleeping. We have to do more. Like I said, I was at court with Stephanie. She said I could say her name. And she's working with her family. We got to start. And Stephanie is doing, I'm not saying doing awesome. She didn't put these kids in therapy. Somebody else. She is with her mom, Miss Flossie. I think we call her Little Suge Knight because Bossy Flossie is about that life. You know, we have to start helping. We can no longer walk away and say, oh, kids are going to be kids. Are they? Who going to care? Just lead them to the street. Don't. We're going to have to start coming together. So I need you to go to the part 4 and 20. And then afterwards, I want you to put up the ones where it's showing that I'm getting 4 minutes and 20. Yeah. Where I'm getting the death threats and they want to hang me. Then they showing, you know, they call me orange and they putting, you know, a person being on a tree.
Your kids have to stop brushing their teeth.
What's
Why?
the truth?
Because the auto brush can clean teeth 20
y'all. Then I want you to put up with her group where they keep tag the group of the taggers.
Is you ready?
But she should denounce. What kind of council person ain't denouncing that they tagging you and people getting hung and shot and people in a casket and you not saying untag me, take my name off of that? What kind of immoral person does that? Yeah, put it. We can play the video. Oh, and can we do the sound, please?
Over there, who was in my ward with a caravan of cars blocking traffic. I was out working in my ward and ran into a crowd of people. And even in that moment, it should be clear exactly why I need an escort. The threats continue. People continue to come to my home. They threaten to come where I'm working in my ward. So this is where we are, unfortunately. And I will continue to do the great work. I am so thankful for my colleagues that voted for the lawn remediation meeting, for the youth. When I pulled up and saw the individuals, I was told, why are you here? Go away. Why are you here? Go away. I heard someone over megaphone speaking. And then I heard people saying that I stole $155,000. Well, we need to make sure that the residents know when people come to you with the petitions for recall or whatever, you make sure that they read to you what's on that line. Because I stole $155,000. We want to make sure this is ethical. If I'm supposed to be removed from the seat, let it be removed off of truth, not off of made up fictitious lies because someone would like to have my seat. I will continue to serve. The second ward is proud. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like the floor during council response?
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that with separations?
Real. Councilwoman Burns already said she has an investigation with the state police because someone threatened her life. So if that was true, she'll be voting to support this. If that was true. So I don't understand. See, because when we speak, you know, people try to turn off. But again, I don't need to quit. Because what we need to do.
My colleagues to the left of me are constantly speaking and in my ear, and it's hard for me to follow what is being said.
Ms. Winfrey Carter and Ms. Burns, bringing you all to order. Next time, it will be a warning. Thank you, Ms. Priestley. This isn't funny. And so as the people in here clap for this kind of behavior, the real voters and the majority of the city, they're not in favor of this. If Ms. Burns' life was in harm's way, was to be threatened for real, as she said, someone put a tracker, she accused me of putting a tracking device on her car. If this was true, an Apple tracker device she did, we can play the tape back.
That man is not going to harm you. He wants to talk to you. You can knock on the door. Y'all done said plenty of them to my door. And put an Apple track on my vehicle.
She said that she feels threatened. And so therefore the state police.
Request for information.
What? Go ahead.
did you know I did not state you did that? That is not true. I did not state. You would have had access to my vehicle. I did not state you did, and I did have.
That's enough. Yeah, okay. So we're moving on. And that's the point. We forget what we say on this microphone. We need to make sure that you said that your life, that you feel like your life is threatened. So therefore, you reached out to the state police to help you, just like I did when that gentleman told me don't come to work. That's the reason why I get a police escort. I have a vehicle. I don't need to get a police escort unless my life is being threatened. So unless what you're saying is untrue, I don't understand why you're not supporting this. And the second that this kind of mayhem comes over to the 5th ward and to the 9th ward, you will be asking for your colleagues' support. It's nice to give flowery speeches to say we are the thermostat, but we also are the elected. Because somebody told me I don't want them coming to my house, so that's why I don't come down there. And we have council members driving people to your house. So we're about to vote on resolution 240191. And that is, want to make sure I read.
Okay, so I absolutely did file a report. Absolutely, the Apple tracker, which I have talked about it before, and I said y'all. I didn't say Liddell Lewis put the Apple tracker on my car. So let's put up who her group of people are. Her group of people, the y'all.
I can't see it.
Okay, it's headed up there. So I didn't say Liddell Lewis put it on specifically. She likes to spin stuff. Take a little bit of something and try to make it the truth. So this is her y'all of crazy people. Now, why are they allowing this person to tag them? I did have an Apple tracker. The person who came over and I showed it to him, and I called Yvonne. I called the Michigan State Trooper. She was the post commander first. I called her. I did call Chief Green. I talked to Chief Green about it. I talked to Sergeant Booth, and I talked to the Michigan Post Commander. I did file a police report with the Michigan State Police. I did. I have been open and honest and transparent about this. Matter of fact, when it came up, because I didn't even know it was on, I have 3 phones. And my one phone, it shows up if you have an iPhone. I had not paid attention to it. I didn't know what, I just had not. It was on there for like a day and a half. And so when I seen it, I called Yvonne, and then I called Arthur Woods, and I said, hey, have you ever seen this? He came over and he looked at what was on, where it showed everywhere that I had went. And that was a realization for me. I've received emails, I've received calls, not only on my personal phone. And now if you text me with some crazy stuff, look, I'm gonna put the number up. I don't care. So I've received, them wanting to hang me. So Mickey, can you put up the hanging one? Because they didn't put up a couple of them where they invited me to a necktie party. And so these are her people. She should be denouncing this garbage. And so when these posts went up of them wanting to hang, these are the people that they put up several over the past 2 years. And so I didn't say Liddell, I said y'all, but Liddell needs to stop the nonsense. She does not and should not have an escort. She ain't scared. No, not that one. That's shameful all in its own. Were they? How did they get that about your?
I have no idea. Hold on. Let me go back and do it this one. Let me put this one up, right?
Yeah. So these were in reference to me, but put up the first to hang. It was the one where I think I had the red and black dress.
Put this one up right here.
It should be in that same one.
Only ones came through was these 2.
Those were the only ones where invited me to a necktie party.
How about this one?
Well, it's another one. I know we've put it up before. And I don't know how come that one didn't come through. You know, I have to go to find. Well, there's one where I have put it. We have put it up. Yeah, we have put it up.
This one right here.
Yeah, there we go. Where they put Councilwoman Tonya Burns. Will you be attending a necktie party? Not voluntarily. I won't be. Yeah, not voluntarily. I'm not trying to be. I take my life serious. Now, this is put on social media. The picture was taken thanks to Councilwoman Eva Worthing, who was taking pictures of me the entire evening, which was weird. That was weird. So then we have the other one where they this one, the orange pumpkin, which that's in, you know, Doug Matthews said I was orange, which is the orange pumpkin, whatever, said Nika 21 times on her podcast, and they put the time stamp. And then they, you know, I guess that's another necktie party. So yeah, my life is, and then guess who was being tagged in this and didn't denounce it? Put it up there. Who was, that's that, yeah, that's the full one. And so, you know, I'm orange. I'm going to be orange, or I'm orange woman. I'm not black. According to Doug Matthews stated I was not black. So this little crew of people, when I said y'all, which I'm gonna include them in there, put back who they tag in this, please. Yeah, put the tag list. You know, my phones is just ringing off the, yeah. I'm doing my show.
Oh, you're doing your show. Okay.
I'm in the studio. I'll call you when I'm done. Is it an emergency?
Oh no, just tell you that they closed the prescription place.
So leave that. So blow that big, make it big. So this is the hit. This is the, they made those posts, and these are the people that they tag, and they didn't denounce these people. President Dr. Liddell Lewis, Judy Priestley, 4th Ward Councilwoman, former Councilwoman Eva Worthing, City Council cameraman Paul Herring, activist Doug Matthews, Linda Turner, Leslie Haney, Kevin Luster. Those are hate crimes to hang someone. And how many of them people are black? 1, 2, 3. 3 are black. And then the other ones are placating to the white racists. They are. Why hasn't she denounced this? And what she was trying to do, because is the biggest bully ever. Like almost, well, if Councilwoman Burns was getting these threats, she would vote for this disorder. No, I'm not voting to put residents in jail because you give them the hate and you despise them, you throw them out. And she has done to fire meetings. If you want something different from the residents, treat them different and give them respect. Liddell is getting the hate she gives. It's the hate they're giving back to her. She's getting back the hate that she gives to them. She should have denounced this. What kind of council person is okay with being tagged with another council person getting hung? What is wrong with you? Judy and her. And Doug then already came in and called us nigga. So, I mean, come on. And then they placate to him. Candace should be denouncing Doug. The fact that Doug is supporting her is the reason why y'all should not be voting for her. Vote Jan Marie Arbor. We need real change. And what does she say? If he had ever said anything that was, I would denounce him, or whatever that little speech she gave when she went to the ethics board. Well, Sergeant Villarreal and others did state he did. Candace, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit there silently and try to come up with little clapbacks? But the facts show you are okay with a racist man calling Black people the N-word, and you are one. Also, you're Black. But you're his kind of Black person that accepts that. Liddell and Candace accepts that. It's not acceptable from anyone. It's not. It's not. So, Mickey, this has been a hot topic day, and I'm sorry, y'all. But I'm not gonna say that's a mess. That whole meeting was terrible. Oh, and listen, and if you on here, donate 810 News Media Group Cash App. Mickey, find the pink sign. You supposed to be on that.
Oh,
it's gonna be.
I'm gonna do like RL. Ooh, wait a minute, woman.
Listen,
hold up, lady.
RL was so unbothered yesterday, and I was leaving the court, and I'm like, RL was laying on the grass underneath the shade, completely unbothered. Like, that's right. Now, you know what was one of the sweetest things he did was after that little last dumpster fire meeting, he was hanging around with James Moore. I was like, RL, you good? Or does, James Moore, does he need a little gas money to get you out? Because I'm going to make sure RL get to where he needs to get. And so does Jerry, and so does other people. And Mays would take him home every day. If we couldn't get him, he was riding with Mays. And he said, you okay? You okay? You okay, Lady Burns? You okay? He was making sure I was okay. He was looking out for me to make sure I was okay. He sensed I was not, and I was not okay. It's a lot going on. You still got to come in there and do your job. You got all that craziness, and her energy is terrible. Her trying to, Councilwoman Burns, if she was being threatened, ain't no if. But Liddell jumped out that car to them residents in that burner car and was about that life. She was about that life. Oh, how far down is it, Mickey? I know. And sometimes some of the stuff goes away. But she was not afraid. She is clowning the Flint Police Department. She's clowning the residents by even receiving a ride when she is clearly not afraid. Y'all saw the video, and it's a bunch of those videos. There's a bunch of them. She is clearly not afraid. She is not afraid, none whatsoever. None whatsoever. She jumped out that car, which was Gangster. It was Gangster. And she was checking folks. Thought she was. But them folks was like, girl, look, make a move if you want to. Make one. And everybody had their phone out. Videotape. Everybody did. And they got some good angles. They really and truly did. So Mickey trying to find, did you? Okay, there we go. We need to put it down towards the beginning. So listen, if you're on here to help us to keep shows like this going, we actually put the facts out. And I'm going to say this to her. When I listen back to that video, I did call her wildebeest. And for that, I am sorry. When I was talking to Sergeant Villarreal, and she was all up in my face and she was in my space, and I did call her wildebeest. I shouldn't have done that. I was angry and I was upset. And I was trying to have a conversation with him. And she was just, you get to a point to where you're tired. And she was like being I'm gonna talk. No, I'm going, no, you're not. No, you're not. And so, as awful as she is, because I have told, and people were saying, Arthur Whitson goes there and he calls her Moose, and she, she's Yogi Bear, and he got deer feed. He gonna throw deer feed all over. He called her Wilder Moose. I had, and I did have a conversation with him, and I did ask him to not do that. Y'all know how that went. It didn't mean nothing. It meant nothing. I had the conversation. He gonna do what he want to do, and depending on the day of the week, it's gonna be what it is with him. And so, she is a problem. The fact that she claims she's scared of the audience, that disorderly conduct was so subjective. So you can't cough in city council. You can't clap. She doesn't want you to walk around. She doesn't want you to hold a sign because she was putting people out for signs. And then she was so disrespectful to Papa when she was telling him he need to sit down. And she just doesn't care how she treats people. But then she falls back to play that victim every time. You can't be the victim rolling up on people in the burner car. You can't. So if you can donate to, please donate to Cash App, 810 News Media Group. We appreciate anything that you can give. We got 100 and something people on here. If you could donate, it goes to keeping the doors open. And I know people saying, well, Mickey, she's doing this. We got a lot to talk about today. We should stop calling moose people on there. And animals. Trevor. So my thing is, she's not scared, but she uses the fear of a woman. Like women have to be protected and women have to be, and women should be protected. She was not scared. She was not scared. No name. I did not go to Baltimore. So I'm going through some of these. Liddell was not scared. She shouldn't have been jumping out on folks. And that was the fact. But if you could please donate to Cash App, 810 News Media Group. We need everything. If you can give $5, $10, $2, everybody gave $1. Whatever you can give. You can give more, 10, 20, 50. We appreciate anything you give. No name. Did you go to Baltimore? No. And I clicked my phone as y'all saw my mama calling. And so Mickey did mute it. Mickey did.
This is life at 18.
This is life at 18. And my mama called y'all, I'm going to answer. So no, I did not go because there's some issues with my mother. I did have to postpone it. I am rescheduled to go in August. But one of the great things is I was talking about the program with Pastor Jannard Lakes. I will be, we're working on he has a male mentorship program that he has already started. And I am working to write a curriculum for a girl or female mentorship program. And I'm excited. And he was like, well, can I go with you to Baltimore, Maryland? I was like, road trip. So, and when I called there, they were like, look, these are some great things that are happening during this time. So it is scheduled. And they were like, no, this is a better time. Right. And I feel like I know Angelica because I talked to her so much there. And so it'll be a road trip that we are going. And because one thing when I went to, and I don't know, I haven't been since the little girl was shot. That night when I got the call, it was devastating. And so when I was there, there was 2 young men there. And one of the little boys, it was his sister who got shot. And the young men, the auntie kept trying to take him back across the street or back across Clio Road. She's like, can y'all keep him here so I can talk to the police? And she kept having to take him back because he kept going back across. He was 14. And the anger and the rage that he had. And so there was about 6, 7 men right there. They were Black men who were like on this side as I was facing them. I said, well, can y'all get him? They was like this. He won't nothing to do with us. He won't let us touch him. So I asked him, I said, I gave him my name, your motherly instincts kick in. And I said, can I hug you? I said, can I hug you? And he was like biting his lip. He was, that anger, look that he had. And he didn't have a shirt on at the time. And he was in the house when it happened. And then there was another young man. I said, can I just hug you? And he allowed me to hug him. I hugged him. And yes, I prayed with them. I prayed with him. I prayed for him. So throughout the entire time, and then you could hear his relatives were coming. You could hear that the finality that they knew that this 12-year-old had lost her life and the cries that were coming out. I knew the grandmother when she came. So as I'm hugging this young man, and they were saying he wouldn't let nobody else hug him. He wouldn't let nobody else touch him. and just holding him in my arms and telling him, just let it out. We got to start embracing our children, and we can't just leave them to their own demise. Because on the birth certificate, parents have a responsibility, and so do we as people in the community. Me, whatever it is I can do from my council seat, we have a responsibility. On the birth certificate, it says the parent of. It does not say the friend of. We need the parents to parent up. We need the grandparents to grandparent up. We need the aunts and the uncles to and uncle up. We need the family members, the cousins, the big cuz. Everybody got a big cuz. We need y'all to big cuz up. These kids, we show up your way, that's how he was. No, because we know that people who have the God has saved their life and said you got purpose, that when somebody intervenes, we know that what they did at 14, 15, 16, 18, that they wasn't doing at 40. They wasn't doing at 30. We can't keep blaming them when we as parents and family and friends, I don't want a little bad kid at my house. I don't want that bad kid around me. We got to stop that. So what I was talking to Pastor Jannard Lakes, now this was before that I left the message on his phone about 3, 4 o'clock that afternoon. This is before the young lady was killed. And she had, I had told him, what are you doing? What are you doing for the young lady? He said, I'm not doing anything. I said, what you mean? Now, I did do a mentorship program, and I've done that before. And what I have done, I'm going to give all I can give. And it takes up all of my time and then some I don't have, because our community is hurting. And so I will be going to Maryland with Pastor Lakes, and it's a couple of people. We haven't confirmed everything. And I'm in it for the people. I'm in it for a better Flint. And so we will have at Spirit of Victory Church, he will be having a mentorship program, not only for the young men, but also for the young ladies. And it'll be a curriculum. And I've done this before. The last one that I did with a group of students, not just individually with more than 3, was I did it with Hamilton High School. And can I show you I think the pictures are in there. And so I did it with, like I said, I was speaking to the women, and we did it. We were not funded. We were not a nonprofit. We used our own money. And funded through each school year with these young girls, to where the principal would allow them to come out, and we would go into the auditorium to teach them. There was a curriculum that we all worked on, and it's gonna be up. You'll see the and so we did this, and it's time for me to do this again. Keep going up. You'll see pictures of girls, black, red, and a lady in a hat, because I even brought in the elders. The elder, who she's my Aunt Martha Mays, said, we got to learn when we see older women that we got to put some respect on their name. And so she even talked to me. She is an Eastern Star. And I've been giving back to I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. Keep going.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's just solid pictures, yeah. And so, and it may be up a little. Okay, that was one. You can put up that one right there. So right there is a group of young ladies, and that is my Aunt Martha Mays. And she was married to the late Councilman Eric Mays, father, Pastor Mays of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. And so what we would do is mentor young girls. Now, she got probably 1,000 hats. And so this was, we taught them different skills, and there was a whole curriculum. So this is one of the meetings, and you can see the young girls that we have in the class. Can we blow that up? And so you can see that the young girls, and they were there. You got to know what your older people look like, because everybody they see out there twerking them girls will hop out the car and twerk at a stoplight in a minute. So if you want to be respectful, and people say, oh, it's just the clothing. It's not always just the clothing. We know that we wrap up things and package up things that we really care about. We put some pretty paper and a bow on it. Don't show all your goodies to everybody. Say something for everybody. So this is one of the mentoring programs that I've worked on. And I've mentored young girls, so it's not Liddell need to know what she's talking about. Don't tell me don't just pray. I'm a pray and I'm a mentor. But what she need to do is stop having them rides up there. So we have to do. Now, here was one of the things that bothered me. She used that young girl's death, talking about that she actually used the young girl's death and saying that she could have had a job. And if she had had the job, then she wouldn't have been a gun violence victim. And I don't know if it was anything more horrific that could have been said than that, but that was 1 o'clock at night. What job would that young girl be at that time? Being 12. 12, she was at home in her bed where she should be. That's where she was at, in her bed. And that's where she should have been. But to use that, and to try to say, that girl, she should have been, what video? And I'm gonna show you the video, AK Cole video. Can we go back to that? And it's gonna be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That the summer job would have saved her.
AK Cole video. That's what I was waiting on you to send.
Oh, you didn't get that one?
Yeah, no, I remember that's what we was waiting on. I said it didn't come through.
And so to say that girl, was waiting on the summer job, which is,
Hold up. I got it.
You got it. And so into it, I think it would be, okay. Oh no, I think it is into, no, it's the official Flint City Council one.
Oh, I ain't got that.
You-
This the best of the Flint City Council.
Yep, no, but it's okay. I thought I had sent you the official Flint City Council. I thought I had sent that to you because it's at the 2 hour and something. I think to say that it really, because the sound was pretty good in that one. Okay, I always send it to myself. I believe I did. Because at that point, YouTube, I don't know why that didn't go through, Mickey. I don't know why. And y'all, I'm sorry that we almost wrapping up.
Yeah, big fatty in my mouth. I'm about to say her nickname. She probably gonna be like, "Don't ever say it on live."
Say don't ever. I need YouTube. So on this one, when she said that, and why people should be voting for those jobs, that was terrible, because that little girl was where she should have been, at home in the bed sleeping. That is what she was doing. And I don't know I don't know why it's not pulling up. Show Flint City Council meeting. Okay, I don't know where I can't, because it keep pulling up. Oh no, hold on. Here we go. My bad. I'm gonna send it out away for the what's the name to show up. And then I need to go to I think to put to use that little girl to make a point and say that if she had a youth job, then it would have saved her. These kids face all kind of issues. If you can go to the, what did I say, the 2 hour, 2 hour and 30 minutes. was terrible. Now, here's why I didn't vote. They didn't have all the organizations the money was going to. How you gonna pass money and don't have all the organizations that it's going to? I mean, we have been going, they had switched that up so many times. And Jonathan wasn't voting on it, Jerry wasn't, and it was just a mess. So 2 hours and 30 minutes, she's getting into this. We're ready.
When she make a comment on this side, you didn't say anything. You warned them, but didn't warn them. You don't give equal justice. You're not fair. You're not impartial. If it's, first of all, the point of order, request information was an abuse. It was to take the floor, and she should have been warned for taking the floor. So, and here it goes again. Every time I get the floor, you have point of information me twice during my time to take my time. You part of the problem.
Okay, thank you.
Round?
No, we're in an appeal for the ruling of the chair.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of.
Not a problem. All right, so you go ahead and start my time. The chair called the young lady in the pink to order for loudly yelling out. If I hear you over here, because it's hard to hear up here. See again, there you go. Second warning. Stop yelling out. It goes against the council rules. Your time to talk is when you're at the lectern. You're not here. And so that's why the chair brought the young lady in the audience to order. We must have order in these chambers to restore these chambers back to the people. People don't even want to come to these chambers because we have people yelling out, people being disorderly, and council members being complicit with it. I'm not doing it. And so what we won't do, I'm not going back and forth. We must make sure that we're in order. And as she was brought to order, she proceeded to speak. And so therefore, she caught that first warning. And with that being said, I'm done. And so if you want to overturn the ruling of the chair, please feel free to vote yes. But we are about to vote. So right now we are about to vote for the appeal. So go ahead, roll call, Madam Chair.
Ms. Burns.
We should pass. Okay, thank you, Mickey. The fact that she used the young girl's death, the 12-year-old's death, to say that's why we should pass for youth jobs, that the young girl's sibling or someone she knew had gotten a job and they got in this youth job and that youth job saved them from getting killed. That little girl was home in her bed at 1 o'clock at night sleeping. Where 12-year-olds should be. The fact that she's saying that these youth jobs should be helping to pay what people you can contribute or pay bills to the household, it's crazy. What part of this don't she get? She don't get it. She don't get it. Using that to pass a resolution that all the T's weren't crossed and all the I's weren't dotted. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And 12-year-olds was right where she was supposed to be at home in her bed. The sad fact is that these kids can we put up the lead one, then we're going to go. What lead does to the body is something, these kids were born into the lead crisis. We talk about the 15-year-old. What does lead do to the body? What problems do we have? These kids got issues that they can't even, they don't even know what's really wrong with them. They were lead poisoned. It is beyond their understanding themselves. Not that one. It is a chart. Go back down. That one, right? Go blue, down. No, down. That right here. Yep, do that one. And then there's one right above it if you can place it up right after that one. So what does lead poisoning do? And so we have to understand that these kids face multiple issues. One, being in gangs. gives them prestige. They get money. They're not looking at working on what is a $10 an hour job.
Right.
When they can make fast money, rap about it, spin the block. There's a mentality in a culture, a subculture that we're dealing with. She don't understand this part. She don't. So a lot of these kids who were born into the lead crisis, lead poisoning in childhood can affect parts of the brain that control actions, mood swings, and decision making. It has been linked to criminal activities and young adults, including violence. It has been linked to criminal activities and young adults, including violence. These kids should be in lead court, not in criminal court. When they were born into the lead crisis, had their minds who were maturing poison for 18 months. Put up the other one, Mickey, and then blow that one up because your girl can't see.
Both blind.
We're both blind. And so when we talk about lead poisoning, these kids didn't say, hey, give me lead water. It wasn't their choice. Lead poison behavior problems and violence. Lead poisoning behavior problems and violence. I need it big. Thank you. Lead poisoning in childhood can affect parts of the brain that control actions, mood swings, and decision making. It has been linked to criminal activities in young adults, including violence. Lead poisoning can also cause behavior problems, learning difficulties, lowered IQ, hyperactivity, and aggression, all of which can contribute to school dropout rates, school suspensions, and delinquency. This young man who is 15 that they charged with 9 felonies checks all the boxes for lead poisoning. And most of these kids probably do. Do you think with them stacking the courts with Donald Trump, they're going to give a damn about Flint kids? No, absolutely not. These kids check all of those boxes for lead poisoning. And now they're headed, we're not done with this. We got to deal with it. These kids need real help identifying them in school, getting them wraparound services, and getting the parents. Parents, stop being your kids' friends. Stop. Your birth certificate say parent. It doesn't say friend of. You're the parent. Parent your children. These are real issues: lead poisoning, behavior problems, and violence. This is what Flint is facing. I will give it to Kamala Harris, Vice President, who was said, you know what, let's get a cancer cluster study. But we need to be on her about this. I am, and y'all do too.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump is stacking the courts. He didn't stack the Supreme Court and many of the other courts. He put in, was it 170-something judges or however many it was? And you think your child with lead poisoning with violence and aggression is going to get a fair share? I don't want to hear that your child was poisoned by lead. No amount of lead is safe in the body. No amount of lead is safe in the body, period. So Trevor said, what's the solution? Trevor, we have to have funding. There also has to be program, because I am for solutions, not only for committing myself, but identifying. And so how do we work on one? Mentoring. Not just that, we have to make them be accountable. It's going to take all of us to say, we didn't poison us. You poison our kids, fix it. We got to start having people who fighting for us and not people fighting for their own $300,000. People not fighting to give their organization, Cyrus Park, $50,000, then another $25,000, then taking $10,000 of their funds that we got for $30,000 for each ward and using it. Now that's $85,000. What have you seen that $85,000 be spent on in that second ward? I'm just saying.
The council person.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And so I have a part. My part is I'm going to see about this program, and I'm taking, it's a road trip to see this program, how we can implement it here. Because I told parents, what I saw at that last one, Because you got the whole family show up to shootings. I done been to an and council people showing up to shootings and praying. Yeah, I sure do. Because you know what? I'm not just there to pray, because I'm gonna pray, number one, but I'm gonna put my faith with our works is that I'm putting in the work. A youth job wouldn't save that child who was shot in her bed. That wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. So if you are looking to mentor, contact me. And listen, I'm checking you out first. So, and if you have a child who wants to be mentored, inbox me. If you need a young man or a young woman who needs to be mentored, inbox me. These programs that we're working on, I am excited. I'm excited. So, anyways, to everybody that stayed on here, Mickey made it run longer. How long we been on, Mickey?
3 hours.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Listen, I want everybody to have a beautiful rest of the weekend. I hope y'all enjoy your day. If you want a mentor, or if you need if you want to be a mentor, and yes, because some of y'all, you gotta make sure everybody right. Let me know. Inbox me. If you have a child that needs to be mentored, let me know. Inbox me. Okay. Everybody can't be no mentor, but if your child needs help, we will take the children to help, because it's gonna take all of us. And so, we even need to make Mickey give a class on how to do podcasts.
I ain't got the patience.
You'll have. So listen, I want everybody, if you donated, if not, think about please donating to 810 News Media Group. Anything that you give goes for us to give further programming to bring this to you. I don't get paid for this. So it is Cash App $810 News Media Group. It's on the crawl. It's on the crawl as it's going across. It's on there. Please donate. We need your donations to support individual podcasts like this. Independent podcasts. These are all the views of Tonya Burns, and I. These are my views, and I'm asking for your help. And if you could please donate to 810 News Media Group, we appreciate it. $, is it $? 810 News Media Group. That's the Cash App. Anything that you give will be greatly appreciated and be used for the good to keep podcasts like this going, to bring you the information that you need. And so to everyone out there, I'm gonna send love and peace out there, because I'm putting out there what I want back. So I'm gonna send out love, because I want y'all to give me love back. So sending love to everyone. I know Mickey ready to go, and I am too, because my stomach is growling. Yeah, it's time to go. Look, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in this Saturday for Talking with Tonya. And please click like, share, subscribe, and support. Click like, share, subscribe, and support. I'm tired, and I'm out of here, y'all. Have a good one.
And vote Jan Marie, 7th Ward.
Oh, vote Jan Marie, 7th Ward. We need good representation and fair, honest representation. And her vote reminds me what it'd be like. If y'all like Jonathan Jarrett, I think she's going to be an independent voter like Jonathan Jarrett. And I supported and knocked hundreds of doors for Jonathan Jarrett. Go Jonathan Jarrett. Go Jan Marie, the JJs. So, all right. Y'all have a good one.